Wat dit hulle? Geen kop.
Hoe ver is nog Janie?
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
This morning I'm sharing the stage with guinea fowl, and quite a few of them, as you can see. They're sharing the stage with guinea fowl and barking dogs in a residential area here in Somerset West.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Good evening, fellow Neanderthals, canines, and right-wing podcasters. Welcome back to the program. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words shall never hurt me. Well, words can hurt, folks, but welcome back to the program. It's Chris live in central Pennsylvania, calling in from the past. It is Wednesday, March 12th, 2025, but for much of the audience, it's already Thursday. It's like the Voyager. I'm Captain Janeway. We're talking to the Alpha Quadrant through a wormhole in time. Welcome back, folks. Good to see you once again. Pleasure to have you all here again. Let's say hello to everybody in the chat. I've got top chat on. Let's switch it to live chat. Nice new feature they've added here. You can click on the top and see what the top chat is, what the live chat is, and what funding has been done. Fan funding. That's pretty cool. It's a nice one. Nice touch there. They got some programmers got their heads out of their butt actually doing things useful to us. So let me just start the broadcast off this morning. Before we get to hello to everybody, I want to cover this very quickly here. So, a green card in the United States. Just an advice and warning to anyone who might be interested in a green card. A green card comes with legal obligations for permanent residency here in America, including you must have the disavowal of terrorism. Under U.S. Code 8, Section 1182, an alien is inadmissible if he or she endorses or espouses terrorist activity or persuades others to endorse or espouse terrorist activity, or is a representative of a political, social, or other group that endorses or espouses terrorist activity. The reason I mention all that, folks, is not because there's any budding terror folks in my crowd, but, by the way, the tulips are looking nice, aren't they? They're looking lovely. Indeed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them looking quite lovely. No, because this gentleman who decided to use his status as a PhD candidate on campus to target Jews in America is finding out the hard way that you cannot be a terror supporter and stay in America with a green card. Deportation proceedings are underway for this gentleman, and the Wall Street Journal does an op-ed on it. I'm going to talk about it here shortly. So let me say hello to everybody in the chat now that we've got that straight. If you have a green card, don't dork things up. Hendo, welcome to you. Lise Rayner. Hennigan, my mom got in and has 2 weeks, what's this, for a passport? Line in the sand, in from the Namibian shores. Welcome. Hendo's here. Did quick math. If the informal trade and taxi rate be taxed, a rough estimate be $24 billion per annum. Yeah, that's another giveaway. But they won't go after that because they'll start getting assassinated by the taxi industry. That's not something they're not gonna mess with that. It's too dangerous. That racketeering operation has got the better hand of society. Rion 332. The Prodigy, watching from Limpopo. Welcome, Prodigy. Jan Filion, Robert Franklin Moore, Chris Stender. Sonia says, good morning. Drizzling and Centurion. Okay, thanks for sharing that. What else we got here? Almost Balk, welcome to you. And then we've got pretty much the same people. There's DeBaram, Jan Filion, another glorious day in the Wyatt Corps. All right, Nod Small. I was just looking to see if that means something else. Gerard Benada, Marius Fenta, Johanna Gillespie, Amazing Yacht Destinations, Lazard, Angelo. Hey, dude, how's it going? How's life, man? Speaking of whistleblowing, man, that's a tough place to be in South Africa, be a whistleblower. Babita Deokaran, say her name, ANC. Say her name, Department of Injustice. Babita Deokaran, a woman gunned down, an innocent woman who simply came across an accounting error and reported to her superiors and was gunned down in a hail of bullets after dropping her daughter off at school. Where is the empathy for that Indian woman who was murdered callously by people connected to some racketeering operation? Where is the sympathy for her? It's not there. Gus, welcome to you. 26065. Ciao. Ciao, Bello. Superior Neanderthal dog. Yes. Word. Walker. Okay. And Beth says, sorry, have something. Have what? What's going on there? Laser G. Gerard Benica, we have been going over the structured robbery plan, the budget. Structured robbery plan. There you go. SRP, the structured robbery plan. SRP to me is a strategic research project from the Army War College. James Moriarty. Welcome, James. I haven't seen your nemesis, Sherlock Holmes, recently. How wonder how you're doing there. Proto Duke, Jean van Eden, Albert Vessels, Philip Duplessis. A nice fresh morning. Seasonal change, it seems to be everywhere, and that's going to become worse. It'll start improving. All right. Dragon Lord Customs. Superior Neanderthal dogs. Stand up. Stand some. Side offer. Stand some. Yes. Stand together. Helen Dupont. Lots of interesting videos coming out by black podcasters. I swear I saw a video by Panul saying that South Africa would fail without white people. True, but I don't think that people want to admit that. So that's a shocker if that was a video from him. Saw another one saying something along the same lines. I'm falling out of my chair. Are people getting aboard? It's like with the Trump train. Are people getting aboard because they're just conceding or realize the truth? Jacques Madeleine Fondezant. Oh, that's a mouthful of a name again. Good morning. Oh, it's from Jacques and Madeleine. That's why. I didn't realize it last time I was on here. PJ Both is back and not playing for the Bulls this weekend. I see he's busy here in the chat. Good to see you again, PJ. And then Estelle Slobert, Raina Fletch. If you were South African, who would you get your vote in the next election? If I were South African in the next election, the person that would get my vote, because you're saying I'm a South African, Where you at? Where did it go? Oh, it's Raina Fletch. If I was South African, who would get my vote next election? That's pretty simple. Chris Wyatt. That's who'd get my vote. If I was South African, I would be running for office. If I was South African. But I'm not. And I'm not. So I won't. I can't and I shan't. I couldn't and I shouldn't. I wouldn't and I won't. Oh, Holden, so that guy, Khalil, is a member of the Muslim Brotherhood or CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations. Well, there you go. That's all you need to know about that guy. Bye-bye. You won't be seeing your child unless your American wife decides she wants to move back to wherever you're being deported to. Shame, 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 shame. Yep. You think you can get away with undermining public safety in this country? Well, there's a new sheriff in town. And what was tolerated in the summer of love, the black supremacy movement of 2020, will no longer be tolerated. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. That's the order of the day. So I would like to find out when the Department of Justice will issue bench warrants or if they've impaneled in a grand jury for Michelle Wu and Brandon Johnson. These are lawbreakers who violated U.S. immigration law, intentionally harboring criminal alien invaders and endangering public safety, as well as the lives of our agents. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Pam Bondi, let's get busy. Disqualifies ANC and EFF supporters. Yep. So even though Trump's social media trolling tweet from Truth Social says farmers, if you support those groups, it would disqualify you as a farmer because you can't support terror groups. All right, Stefan Tinnison, welcome to you. I'm okay, busy, a little drop off in viewership last day or so, but gotta say, very, very grateful for the last few days. Let me just run these stats through for everybody because I know some people are curious on this. At this hour, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive days over 123,000 or more views. That's incredible. Thank you so much for that. Today had a milestone. Let me see if I can find that milestone marker. It's got to be here somewhere. Downloads. Come on. There it is. Yeah, we went over this. I haven't posted this yet because I've been so busy. I did another video earlier about the budget. I thought people might find that interesting, my analysis of the budget. But this is what happened earlier. Now, bear in mind that in January, after April 2022, 23, 24, April 25 would be 4 years. So January, very much. So 3 years and 9 months, 3 years and 9 months of this channel, working our tail off, trying to get the word out there, being hidden, shadow banned. Suddenly things took off and we had 3.45 million votes, not votes. I wish they're votes. 3.45. So less than 3.5 million views on this channel just recently. But look at this today. We went over this today we actually went over this figure for views. 8.5 million views. Wow. March 12th. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. We've dwarfed the original channel now. We've dwarfed my rugby channel. And we're catching up with popular podcasters in South Africa. 8.5 million is nothing to sneeze at. Look, I'm not boasting. I mean, when I get 100,000 subscribers, if that ever were to occur, I'd be pretty excited. But 10 million views and 100,000 subscribers are big achievements. And the achievements are not because of me. It's because you watch. I mean, look, I've been doing the same thing for years and it hasn't caught fire. So you guys have helped it catch fire. So I want to say, kia le bois, bye bye donkey. Merci mille fois, vielen Dank. Ja, ich bedanke mich für alle die Unterstützung für unser Kanal. Ja, dieses Programm ist es ist ein sehr wichtiger Ding für mich persönlich und ich freue mich, dass so viele Leute finden also unsere Aktualität und die Unterhaltung zwischen die Gäste und ich interessant und sie bleiben hier mit uns. Ja, okay. Thank you for being here, folks. Watch Piers Morgan. They discussed this dude. He's pretty obvious that he's breaking his green card stuff. Yep, and he's going to be gone. Nathan Small says, I've got to prove for FG in USA. That's impossible, Nathan. We're not accepting refugees from South Africa. So what do you mean you got to prove for refugee? Who is scamming you? Please tell us. I don't mean to break your heart or bust your bubble, but who gave you refugee status? It's not happening. Let's go to the embassy website and see if there's an update that's been published while I was napping. No, nothing new. Nothing new. So I'm not sure what you're talking about that, Nathan. Dean all the way from Australia. Hey, Dean, how's it going there? Okay. Whereabouts in Australia? West Coast? East Coast? Somewhere in the dead center? Ooh, that's quiet there. Charles Van Olsen, the voice of reason, is here. Charles here. Chris Matea, welcome to... Oh, are you related to Yuri Matea? Any chance? Charles Van Onselen, Orion Steenkamp. Ants is an OG, been with us from the very beginning. Ants is a good character. Good to see you again, Ants. Elizabeth Kruger, Patrick Vianello, been there for a long time. Johan Kern, morning from Vombad, Limpopo. Boy, suddenly a lot of people in Limpopo watching this program. I never get to Limpopo. I'm very humbled to have people watching the program from Limpopo. Thank you all so much for that. That's really crazy. It's good stuff. All right. Chat jumped on me again, folks. It always does that. Roxy Lowry, good morning to you. Marinda Duplessis. I had a headache last night. Didn't watch the budget. Yeah, well, you would have gotten a deeper one watching it. I will vote AI. Vote for Kruger. Thank you very much. Ongisa Damani said, hey, Chris, disastrous was that budget. Yeah, it was, but I kind of predicted that. I didn't see it going anywhere. Raina says you'd be a fantastic president. Well, thank you for that. Good morning, Odin's Viking. Stefan Tunison, anyone like me that think the DA is going to fold like the budget? A lot of people seem to think that. That Pinol and Warris interview was rather enlightening to listen to. He's taking out the system, and Pinol took a beating on how he saw stuff. Oh, really? Pinol got beat up. I'll have to watch it then. Thank you for Superior Neanderthal. All I know about Pinol is I've watched a few of his videos, and a couple of times he's been on the money, but sometimes like whoosh, doing typical stereotypical nonsense over here. He's not like Mpofa Walsh. That guy's just out there. But yeah, Pinol has some good stuff sometimes, but I don't know what he said. Okay. Good morning, Mariki van Jasveld. Having a, what's this? Something lovely. Okay. Laparoscopic removed gallbladder. I've had that happen, Mariki. I had my gallbladder removed in laparoscopic procedure, and I told this as a surgeon, take your time. Doc, there's no rush. It's a Sunday. Nobody's here. All the malingerers at home. They're not getting out of work. They're not getting out of school. They're not eating the dogs. They're not eating the cats. Take your time. Take your time. He said, because we're going to do a laparoscopic procedure. So we take 2 incisions. We go in with the camera in one, go in the other, and we remove things that way. Now, there's a possibility. There's a lot of stones in there. There's a possibility that I can't get them out. If that's the case, then we're going to have to cut you up with traditional incision. I said, Doc, that'll leave a big scar. He goes, yeah, it'll leave a good scar. Unfortunately, I said, listen, take your time. I want to make sure I can still wear a bikini when this is all over. He's like, he's ready. Take him in. Yeah, laparoscopic procedure done properly. I don't even have a scar. The scars from the surgery, gone. You'd never know I had my gallbladder taken out. Unless you have x-ray vision. Jeremy, welcome to you. Is it Colleen? It's Colleen, I think it was. Welcome to you. Watch Advocate Ike Kamalo on his opinion majority. Look, Angelo, I'm trying to get a hold of Ike Kamalo. If anyone's got a contact for him, somebody told me they did, but I haven't seen any message come through on that. I sent him an email to his email address. It doesn't exist. He must have set it up years ago and quit using it. Okay, I'd like to interview him. Moon set shortly. Well, that's in Namibia, but it's still a moon up over here, man. 200 watching, 236 watching at this hour. Yeah, well done, Colonel, says Marius. You should be boasting. Nah, I didn't do anything. Well, I did. I made some fantastic content. Insightful, predictive, analytical, prescient, cogent, lucid, impressive. Okay, I guess I'll boast. Worked with Babita before she went to Haunted. Oh, really, Mariki? Was she a nice lady? I didn't know her. I just know that I know what happened to her, and it's just horrible. And nobody wants to remember it. Nobody wants to commemorate it. No one wants to talk about it. I just think of her daughter now growing up without her mother. Mother just taken from her. She drops her off at school. Thankfully, they didn't murder the daughter. I mean, the callous bastards at least waited till she dropped her daughter off. But still. Yikes. Let's get the Colonel to 100,000. Yeah, let's get the 100,000 viewers. Yep. Now, I didn't watch Doug McGregor. I was on the radio earlier. You were there, Holden. Somebody mentioned it. I think Charles or somebody mentioned it. I haven't had time to watch that. I'm busy doing other things. I made a video. You might have missed that. I recorded a video earlier about the budget. Yep. All right. We are something. My chat disappeared there. We are invested in your success. Okay, the more people who can start listening, the reason the better for us. Yeah, it is. It is, because it raises profile. I mean, I already have media outlets in South Africa watching my content and then changing their content without notifying you, not putting modified or adjusted. When I do that, I tell you if I've changed something, hey, this is different. I edited this or I changed this. They're already doing that, 2 instances of that in 24 hours. And then another outlet attacking me as a right-wing podcaster. Not a university professor, not a linguist, not an accomplished published author, not an energy industry analyst, not an intelligence officer. No, none of those things, but a right-wing podcaster when I'm actually a journalist. Anyway, so whatever. The point is that now people are making memes about me. They're making memes about me. That's just something else. They're positive memes, so I'm grateful for that, but still, it's kind of funny to see. I mentioned earlier, I've always said Douglas McGregor was a butthole. He makes sweeping statements with zero evidence. You must just believe him. Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not going to attack Douglas McGregor. That's not going to go well for me. He's famous and I'm not. So that's going to go well for me. Your content views are much appreciated. It's good to hear news for what it is. Watch your morning and evening shows. Well, thank you for that, Blade Wolf. I've seen you in here. Pinole will rather die admitting he's wrong. He was the other guy teaching him some lessons. Oh, okay, cool. Lindy Daniel, good morning. Watching from Gauteng. Okay. Vanderbilt Park. It's been a while since I've been to Vanderbilt Park. Maybe on my next trip I can make a journey down to Vanderbilt Park. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, maybe. Limpopo and Mpumalanga are both beautiful places. I hear that. I've been in Mpumalanga, but not in Limpopo. Corne Lok, good morning to you. And Gerd Gillich is in. Guten Morgen. Gerd, du alte Knabe, wie geht's, Leutnant? Oberstleutnant Gillich. Servus. I think he met with Tucker to talk. It was Ukrainian. I'm not sure what that was about. Our fun adventure. Well, that's an interesting title. Good morning. It would be interesting to look into the stats of suicide rates due to the. Yeah, that wouldn't be interesting. That would be depressing. But I get your point. From a purely intellectual standpoint, it would be interesting. Yes, for that Pinole show with Warris, I agree with you about Pinole, but that interview was epic. I didn't see it, Jerethra. I'll have to watch it. Francois Leroux, good evening to you. Okay. Scans are good conversation. Scars. Oh, no, they're not. I don't want to talk about scars. When I was dead sexy, sure. But I put on a couple pounds now. I'm a little bit of vein there, so I don't want to walk around in bikinis. All right. Colonel Chris, you're quickly becoming my favorite show. I'm submarine vet. I'm learning so much about South Africa amongst the things you discuss. Only been watching about 3 weeks. John Graves, I got the impression you're an American from something you said previously. Am I wrong, John? You don't have to disclose it if you don't want to, but it makes a difference because if you're a sub vet and I start talking about subs, I'll be talking about diesel submarines, either Daphne class or more recently the 209 German submarines, which I doubt if you're American, we're talking about nukes, talking about Ohio class submarines, right? Anyway, just saying. I've had submariners work for me. The officers are a strange lot, my friend. They're a strange lot. These are nuclear engineers and smart, but sometimes, come here, son. Calm down. Have his number and we'll chat with him to take your call. Angelo, thank you so much. I would appreciate that. Angelo, you've got my number. You may share it with him. All right? There's my permission to share it with him, okay? Assuming he's willing to take it. I mean, if he doesn't want to take it, then don't give it to him. But I'd love to interview him. And I need to do it soon because I'm running out of clock here, folks. I'm running out of clock. I have just a week and a half left before I'm back to two weeks of consulting. And I'm not going to be able to do interviews for the most part. Let's get up way early to do them. And it's not fun. And for some reason, South Africans don't want to work on the weekend. During COVID, I could get interviews during the weekend. But now, hey, let's do it on Saturday, Sunday. Oh, no, I can't do it on Saturday. I can't do it on Sunday. People taking the weekend off, lazy. No wonder nobody's got a job in South Africa. I work 7 days a week. Come on, man. No, but seriously. So I've got 2 interviews tomorrow. Friday is open at the moment. Then I've got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday next week, plus the weekend. And the 2 weeks after, it's going to be hard to do interviews. And I don't want to miss the chance because there's a small chance they might actually come out with a refugee program in the meantime. That's going to eat up all my time if it does happen. So. But John Grace, how am I quickly becoming? I should have long been your favorite program. Just kidding. Just kidding. Right. What's this? Chris, you're lucky. My gallbladder left me with a massive scar. My wife tells people it's a shark bite. That's pretty good, Char. I love that. Yeah, no, I'm very lucky. Very lucky. And if I wasn't pudgy, I'd show it off right now. But I'm very fortunate. I call it my near-death experience. So it happened in the following fashion. First off, I had this problem at Fort Meade. They ignored it. Then I had it in Malawi. I was in agony. I stayed rolling in a pain all day long, agonizing abdominal pain in my hotel room at the Crossroads Mall there in Lilongwe. Oh, I spent the whole day. Then I flew from there down to Blantyre and Air Malawi back to Lusaka, and then from Lusaka back to Joburg back. But I got better. The pain went away. It was just that day. Then it happened again. And then finally, when I was flying a few years later from Joburg to Atlanta and then on to D.C., Reagan National, I was in severe pain. It was horrible. They were going to turn the flight around and go back to Senegal over the Atlantic. I'm like, don't do that. I have 400 people pissed off at me. It's just food poisoning. It wasn't. It was a gallbladder. I finally got into surgery 24 hours after the pain started, and they removed my gallbladder. Yep. So, from your perspective, Ms. Heather, how do you everyday people actually feel about the current political and economic situation? Sense of change and hope, or is it more frustration and uncertainty? Jeremy, it's a good question, and I could have answered it more accurately a year ago, but I haven't been in South Africa in a long time now. It's been since June. So what's that, 10 months? 9 months. It's been 9 months since I've been in South Africa. So that's a long stretch. Usually I go every 6 months. It's hard to judge from the outside. I get a sense of it. But my sense is that a lot of people are on edge, black, white, and brown, over what's going on. But it's just a sense. If I get on the ground anytime again, it'll be something I explore. I'll talk to black folks, white folks, brown folks, and see what they got to say. Yeah, I know you're in Indonesia. It's you're far away from it too. But I will, when I get to South Africa, I do lots of filming, lots of broadcasts from there. And so if I get there, I will do the same thing again. So we'll get a better feel for it. I had a great feel for things during the election last year. People were very optimistic, very excited, at least in the Western Cape. And then when I went around the country after the election, people felt the same way. Sonia Beren, welcome to you. Carrie McDougall, Michelle Heath, Willem Janssen van Rensburg. Okay. And Ronaldo is asleep now, so he can't harass me on my genoeg is genoeg. Gosh, he and his stuff. Anyway, Rob Hersoff used one of your headlines as his thumbnail. What? You're in the big leagues and you called a right-wing podcaster. Rob Hersoff used one of my headlines as his thumbnail. For what? One of his videos? I didn't know that. Watch this podcast with Tucker and give your opinion. I'm curious to see how far apart we end up on him. Are you talking about McGregor? I have one huge... Oh, no. Marika, my gallbladder looked like the Jwaneng diamond mine. I saw it on one time on an ultrasound at the Baltimore Washington Medical Center, formerly the Annapolis Hospital in Annapolis, Maryland. Yeah, well, these aren't quite Annapolis. It's on for Ritchie Highway there. Anyway, about halfway to Annapolis. Yeah, it used to be the Anne Arundel Medical Center or something like that. Anyway, now it's Baltimore, Washington. Anyway, they changed the name. But I saw it on the ultrasound one time, and it looked like a diamond mine. Like, look at all those diamonds in there, man. They were gallstones. But the problem wasn't all the gallstones. I had one large one, huge, that got stuck in the bile duct. Couldn't get out for 24 hours. My chest, my body was trying to evacuate it and vomit. It was horrible. Oh, gosh, it was horrible. Oh, painful memories. Danke der Nachfrage, mein Herr. Mit Vergnügen. Luz Englander, Cecilia Heines, welcome to you. Arctic is back. Hey, there's Arctic. I was wondering where he's at. Glenn Whitaker. Graham Kelly. Blade Wolf is already here. We talked. Carlos Puter, welcome to you. Carlos Puter. Ananda, a friend, said she can't get a letter from her ex as they're both not allowed to speak together. She has 2 daughters. Any advice for Ananda? The only Ananda I know is a lady named Ananda Baker who's come on this channel. Maybe that's someone else. I've never seen that given name before. She can't get a letter from her ex as both are not allowed to speak together. I don't understand. Can't get. They're not allowed. What is there? Is there like a separation order? They can't. If that's the case, she can have a go-between. If she's seeking, if you're talking about she wants to immigrate or take refugee status to come to America or something like that, leave the country with the kids, basically she wants to leave the country with the kids and wants his permission, you can get a go-between. You can have a lawyer do it. You have the lawyer contact and say, I'd like to meet you, and get someone who's sympathetic, that's got the gift of gab. Yeah, if that's what she's talking about. Your question is not complete, so I'm assuming some things here. Middleboard and Pumalanga is struggling to stay above the other parts falling apart. We have cleaning crews in our suburb to keep it clean. Yeah, the council doesn't take any responsibility. Okay. What did Nathan Small say? I don't see the comment from Nathan Small. It's been a while ago. Okay, well, I'm not going to go that far back. Gallbladder was removed 25 years ago. Mine was removed in 2010, so 15 years ago. Which part of the U.S. has a climate that is not hot and not too cold with lots of trees? Ah, that would be Wakanda. Wakanda, yes. Well, Western Maryland is not too hot, not too cold. Pennsylvania is not too hot and too cold. You get snow, but I mean, come on, you can't have Tennessee. Tennessee's nice, lots of trees. North Carolina, yeah, lots of trees in the western part. But as you saw, they had an epic, biblical flood there recently. So, yep. What's your take on the budget speech? A disaster, Stephen Nordkia. One that I predicted, and I'm not surprised. The ANC is taking the wrong approach here. They're going to punish the poor while pretending to give them money and simply keep taking money from everyone else. It's a mess. It's a mess. They need to cut expenses. South African Chamber of Commerce USA was just harvesting our information. We're only registered to receive updates on information from the embassy. Yeah, well, I didn't tell anybody to go sign up for it there, did I? You weren't directed at me. I'm just saying I didn't tell anybody to sign up for it. How did your body adapt to gallbladder? You know, it's interesting. You mean bile? You don't produce bile anymore. There's nothing to be released, Marika. What are you talking about? Your gallbladder produces bile, and you can live without a gallbladder. You don't need bile to survive. Now, apparently, a lot of people who have their gallbladder taken out have difficulty with dairy products. I've heard this. Certain foods you can't eat. So I'm the eldest of the children in my family. I got younger brothers and sisters, and both my parents are passed away, but no one had ever mentioned to me they had their gallbladder out. So here I am at at the tender age of 45, having my gallbladder removed after flying on a 17-and-a-half-hour flight from Joburg to Atlanta, then a 2-hour flight in agony from Atlanta to D.C., and then driving in traffic for 2 more hours because it was a massive traffic jam on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway, and finally settling in at the Annapolis, North Arundel Hospital. That's what North Arundel Hospital is what it used to be called. Settling at North Arundel Hospital, and then waiting an hour and a half to get treated there. Oh, my God. Oh. And I was no one in front of me. It just, they had to go wake up the doc, or a PA. So after I had surgery the next morning, I contacted a few family members to let them know that I was going under the knife before I went under the knife. But the next morning, I started getting messages, and I heard from my mother, and I heard from my father, and then I heard from my sister, and my brother, and every one of my siblings had their gallbladder taken out, and both of my parents. And I'm like, no one ever told me this. I'm like the only one walk around intact. You didn't tell me this. And my mother said she couldn't eat certain things afterwards. I eat whatever I want. No change, nothing whatsoever. So, no, your gallbladder produces bile. Without the gallbladder, you don't produce bile anymore. So, I'm not sure what you mean by that. You want me to say that? No. Okay, thank you. Okay, Paula, you're asking perfect weather. Exactly, there's no such thing. Well, San Diego, I suppose, is pretty nice. Two stones, but now I eat anything. Told me I may have liver. What? That's not good, Miranda. I hope that's not true. Bach, welcome to Tim Martens. Okay. Trump and his Colt 44. Win. Isaac Yannicka, welcome to you. Army 3275 in from the Philippines. Good to see you there, brother in arms. I had two stones. Okay. So Jeremy says, would you say that most South Africans just living their lives not caught up? Yes. I don't know if they're not caught up in the fear mongering. A lot of South Africans, particularly a lot of white South Africans, are concerned right now. But good morning, Magda. Nathan Small. Okay, Holden says McGregor is saying same things General George McKierney and Paul Valley are also saying. Okay, well, that doesn't make any of them correct. Got my tablet in my hand. Vape. Oh, gosh, no, not. I'm sorry, guys. You can dislike me. You can throw hate my way. I'm sorry. I don't get tattoos. I don't get vaping. I don't get that at all. Just something I never got. Not criticizing, just saying 9 stones. Ooh. Yeah, the small one's easy to get stuck in the tube, and that's what happened. Yep, too big to get in. I answered the question, really. Okay. Leon Rutherford, hello to you. Dan Bailey's in from Wyoming. Shh, folks. Wyoming is not where you want to go. Okay, all right. So if you come on the refugee program to America, the last place you want to go is Wyoming. You do not want to go to Wyoming. It's dangerous. Lots of cowboys, bison, elk, no water, high altitude. You'll get sickness. Wyoming's not for you. These are not the droids you're looking for. Dan, I'm trying, man. I'm trying to keep them away. I got to keep them away so I can at least go and buy some land in Wyoming. Then they can come out and push the price up. Till then, we don't want any of them showing up, man. Just keep between us. There's one person here that got it. He's got his heart set on Wyoming. I can't talk him out of it, but I've been talking the rest of them out of Dan. So just, Dan, whenever you come in, complain about Wyoming. Damn it, those taxes got raised again. We pay 0.5% tax. Shh, don't tell them how much. Just tell them they got raised again. I'm trying, Dan. I'm trying to keep them out, man. Oh, we'll scare them with the Yellowstone caldera. Did you ever watch the movie 2012? Do you know what's going to happen in Wyoming? The entire state's going to blow up. The world will end because of Wyoming. The Yellowstone caldera. Don't move there. It's dangerous. It's terrible. It's a horrible place. Yeah, Utah and Idaho seem nice. Yeah, they're nice. But not Wyoming. It's full of evil people. Gregor said UK was on their last legs and we're about to collapse. That was more than a year ago. He also stated more Ukrainians killed than Russians. Yeah, I don't think more Ukrainians have died than Russians, but syntax increase. My wife have difficulty with bread and pastry after. Yeah, see, some people, yeah, exactly. Bread is going to be, yeah. Why? Okay. Daily, it's a no-no. The budget speech clearly shows that the current government has no idea on how to manage. Ding, ding, ding. Give that man a cigar. Hey, wait a second. I just realized there's been no super chats. We've been at this for 35 minutes. All right, cool beans. ANC don't need to cut costs. They need to stop the blatant theft. That would help. 2 produces bile enough to still aid. Oh, really, Elizabeth? Really? Okay. It's not what the doc told me. My bad. Okay. Well, maybe mine's producing enough. Maybe they hooked it up properly. Well, that's good. HM Fanas, welcome back again tonight. Anton says, sounds good. With the amount of coffee I consume, it's a bloody wonder I don't have kidney or gallbladder stones. Oh, it's funny. Your liver still produces bile and not store and go. Okay, gotcha. Thank you for correcting me, guys. I stand corrected. I was just relaying with it. Remember, I was in pain, suffering when the doctor told me that, and I never bothered researching it because I didn't think it was a big deal. So I stand corrected. I thought the bile had to go through the bile or through the gallbladder in order to be processed properly. I don't know. I'm not a physician. I don't even play one on television. I wasn't even on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. That wasn't me. Okay, sounds good. Okay, you don't want your state taxes to pay for me, huh? Wyoming is cold and windy, lots of snow. Exactly, it's terrible. Good job, John. You tell them. Dangerous, cold, snow, wild bears, mountain lions, wolves. Oh my. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Wyoming is not for you, my friend, you see. Now we're all going to Wyoming. Go to Central Pennsylvania. Oh, no. I've already went out and oiled my crew serve weapons. I've got the ones you saw in the Congo movie. They're motion detectors. So if you approach my lawn, it's like a Vulcan, man. 1,200 rounds a minute. So you just stay off my lawn, man. Get off my lawn. I ask about the memorandum. Will South Africa not see that as treason for a person that delivers to the U.S.? Well, you can't commit treason against a country that you don't have fealty to. Another reason why you can't be a subject of 2 countries. You can only have one sovereign. That's why the concept of dual nationality is bogus. It's bunk. So I could never be treasonous to Canada. I can never be treasonous to South Africa. I can never be treasonous to Germany. I'm not a national of those countries. I only have fealty to the United States of America. Now, if you spy on those countries, you could be accused of espionage. That's a whole different story. If you attack those countries, you could be accused of all kinds of things. But simply delivering a letter for someone doesn't make you treasonous. You couldn't be treasonous unless, So anyway. Never thought what through, Marika. I'm falling behind where our conversation was. Times South African Russia University signed to teach Zulu in Russia. Oh, I can see them lining up in Magnagorix. yeah, out in the Ural Mountains. Yuri, have you signed up for the Zulu class? Yeah, Svetlana's in that class. I signed up for it. Well, I'm here to tell you if Svetlana signed up for the Zulu class, Yuri, she's probably not interested in white dudes. I'm just saying. I could see it now in Siberia. Russians learning Zulu. Stranger things have happened. Even from stones in the tube. Oh, don't talk about that. I want to talk about it more. Key West. Yeah, there you go. Key West. There you go. Have fun. You will be sent where they send you, Arctic. You can ask for options, but there's no guarantees, my friend. How about Iowa? Oh, I lived in Iowa, Felicity. Well, Iowa's nice. Yeah, it's beautiful. Quiet, boring, clean. Yeah, nice. Good universities. Big farming area. Iowa's big on farming. Damn scared of bears, but the ANC scares me more. Bring on the bears. Yeah, I've run into some bears out in the mountain states. Yeah, they're here, though. They're right here in my town. Some freaking bears right down the street the other day. Yeah, black bears, man. They're all over the place. And there are fox around here, but the fox are terrified. They're little timid things. They run away. I think refugees might be sent to particular places, but can move, but not 100% sure. Yep, Maine has a large Somali community, for example, after a lot of Somali refugees moved there. Yeah, after some idiot told them how nice it was. Yeah, hi, by the way, when do you sleep or take a day for yourself? Donovan Glenn Taylor, I don't take a day for myself. Rest is for the dead and the wicked. I have a mission here, responsibility, and I'm going to keep it up as long as I can for the short term. So, yeah, we have some goals. We're trying to achieve them, and we're trying to get the word out to people. And if we're successful, that's great. If we're not, so be it. I've several times considered giving up on doing this because of the shadow banning and the inability to figure out the algorithm and break through and get production out there. But, you know, I never have, because I had a very loyal, small but loyal audience that just kept coming back. And, yeah, and they kept asking for it. And, yeah, and in my last trip, my meet and greets were very underwhelming as far as participation, but that's fine. I got to spend quality time with fewer people and, you know, have great discussions. The big groups are fun, but yeah, it was really, really humbling the first time. It's 60 people coming to a meet and greet. That was really wild. I suspect if I come back to South Africa again, now with more people know who I am, we'll probably have much larger meet and greets. But yeah, so we'll probably, if I come back to South Africa, we'll be having public lectures at some hall or some event. Look, the intent is, if I do that, I have no intention, no desire to charge, but I probably can't eat the cost of a venue unless it's dirt cheap to hold it. So if I have to pay for a venue, it may be a charge to cover the venue. But my expectation is, if we do an event somewhere, they give us a hall, that you would buy food or drink there that would generate revenue for the business. And then that's all we do, rather than pay a hall fee. But I go give a lecture, answer questions as best I can, and just chat with people. So yeah, that's if I come back, I'll have some specific talks. I'll go and focus on some specific things. Thank you, Angelo, for forwarding. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's the intent there, folks. Yeah. Stop spending dollars on toy guns. Huh? Okay. They'll eat our dogs. Yes. All right. Hey, Sarita Flipa. Been to Texas. Wish to go back. Well, I'm glad you guys love Texas. Doesn't do anything for me. Are there caves? There are caves everywhere, man. There are caves. Colorado got caves. I was wondering where the bison are. Want to make a bison or like a biltong. I got you. Yeah, there's bison in a number of places. They made a hell of a comeback. They've also mixed them with beef. So I have beefalo. It's yeah. So, but that's farm stuff. Someone coming to Texas and rules in place to close 45 minutes from. Hey, Afrikaner Boer, good morning to you. Wait for the program to be published. Alaska sounds good. Golden Gnome. Yeah, but not many refugees go there. Mark Bush doesn't sound too bad. Wyoming, Denver, Colorado. Denver is a city in Colorado. What about Kansas? Kansas is a big farming state. Nice, boring. Which area is the Bigfoot? Bigfoot's in the Northwest. That would be in Washington State, the Cascades, the Olympics, Oregon, Northern California mostly. He gets around. New Mexico and Missouri have huge caves. Yes, Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. Been there. Mr. Jardin, will we be put in camps? No, that's a lie. Where do you... Okay. Thank you for asking, Mr. Jardin. Okay, let's just run through the common sense perspective here, okay? All right, what is your image of refugee? If you're like anybody that ever thinks about refugees, you see sad stories when war happens. You see people running from bullets in camps, living in tents in Kenya, coming from Somalia, or living in Chad, running from Darfur. That's your image of a refugee. And that would be an accurate refugee. However, we also have refugees from Cuba who never faced war, refugees from Bosnia and Herzegovina who weren't in a war, but were persecuted for their identity. In those cases, and a couple other cases, the United States offered in-country refugee status. Okay, refugees who come to America, unless they're coming from Mexico or Canada, which don't have a basis for refugee status, so they will be rejected as a refugee. So nobody can come to America as a refugee unless they're actual refugee already located somewhere else in temporary resettlement, temporary relocation, a safe haven. Then they can come here. We don't bring people from tents in Darfur and put them in tents in the States. The lies about FEMA tents. First off, FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. They have nothing to do with refugees. U.S. Customs Immigration Service, the ones who handle this under the Department of Homeland Security. Nobody lives in tents. They went so far as to take criminal alien invaders who violated our sovereignty, flew them from the border without even proper identification, with just an arrest warrant. They gave them an arrest warrant and a court date to appear as an asylum seeker because they're frauds, and they flew them to Harrisburg, to Albany, New York, to Tallahassee, to our state capitals in the dark of night. And I know this because we had journalists show up out here at 2 o'clock in the morning when the tower was closed at the Harrisburg International Airport, as the government on unmarked planes, the tail numbers of course, but the planes weren't marked with the company, contracted, flew them at taxpayer expense, criminal alien invaders, Haitians, from the border, all the way up here, and dumped them in our neighborhoods in Harrisburg. They're not in tents. They never in tents. They're put in lodging. That's why we limit the number of refugees that come here. This isn't Turkey and a free-for-all where 800,000 people pour across the border from Syria. They are put in tents because that's a safe haven and they can't absorb them. This is onward movement for permanent resettlement of people who are refugees, which would be the case of people coming from South Africa. There are no tents. They are not going to put you in tents. It's the biggest fucking lie being told by lying fucking sack shit liars in South Africa who don't know what they're talking about, who are trying to frighten South Africans into not applying for it. I don't want you to apply for a refugee status. I don't care if you apply for refugee status. I don't want to stop you. I don't want to help you. I don't want to encourage you. I don't want to stop. It's none of my business. It's not my business. It's sad that people would have to do that. That's my thought on it. But I owe you the truth because I'm a person of character and morality and not a fraudster, clickbait, fake journalist, and not a politician rubbishing your hopes and dreams. You want to apply for the program, do it. If you're colored, you want to apply for it, do it. If you're Indian, you want to apply for it, do it. If you're English speaking, do it, apply. When the program comes out, apply. Even if it says it won't take you, apply. Just apply. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And don't listen to the Canadian immigration consultant. There's no black mark in your passport for having refugee status. It's not a black mark. That's a good thing. It means a country is recognized. They vetted you and they said you're not a criminal and they've allowed you to come into their country and they've given you status. They've embraced you. So if you're given permission to travel abroad to another country, a third country, there's no black mark in your passport. Canadian immigration consultant. Yeah, for immigration to Canada, that dude's trying to get you to Canada. You know why? Because his company makes money from it. Do you know what I get if you come to America? You want to guess? Anyone guess how much I get if you come to America? You ready for this? Somebody, how much money do I get if you come to America? Any one of you. What am I getting for you coming to America? Oh, by the way, what do I get if you stay in South Africa? I don't work for the South African Chamber of Commerce, for the DIRCO, for the South African government, for the Western Cape government. I don't work for any of those people. That's right. I get fuck all. I get nothing. Nothing. I have no dog in the fight. There's no pit bull here, no Rhodesian Ridgeback. I got none of that. Not even my cats are in the fight. My poor cats are dead. They're not even part of it. So, and by the way, Prince was a hell of a fighter. This dude, he could fight big time. That's how I adopted him. But they're both gone. Yeah, there are no tents. That's a lie. Show me a tent. Somebody show me a tent where refugees are living. See, that's all you do. Show me the receipts. Show me the receipts. I show you the receipts. I can show you the immigration law. I can tell you the act where this stuff comes from. I can show the executive order. That's what I can do, and that's what I do. I don't play these silly games. Immigration and Nationality Act of 1980 defines what a refugee and asylum seeker are. People are misleading you for whatever their intentions are. Agri-SA, whatever their goals are. So, yeah, thank you for the question, Mr. Jardin. I appreciate the question. It hasn't been asked in a few days, and it's good to hear that. Every time I hear that question, my blood boils. Not because of you, Mr. Jardin, but because someone has lied to you. Who are these people that claim you're going to be in tents? Tell me who they are, or ask them to show you who's living in tents. We take in on the U.S. Refugee Resettlement Program 30,000 to 150,000 people every year, sometimes more. We took in 162,000 Afghans in like 3 weeks, exceeding the entire year's quota, blew through the budget. We spend $2.7 billion, 55 billion rand, resettling people in America, paying for NGOs to get you sponsors, to help you with translate your work qualifications and your documents from Farsi or from Tagalog or, well, Tagalog's nobody's come from the Philippines, but you get my point, from Spanish into English, into American standards that meet our engineering standards, our electrical standards, our certification standards, our nursing standards, our doctor certification, whatever it is, the bar exam. Help you with all that. Pay for that stuff. Give you medical aid. Give you a stipend to live off of. All of that. And if you have no money for the flight, we arrange with the International Organization of Migration, the IOM, to pay for your flight on an interest-free loan. You come over, then you pay them back starting 6 months later, interest-free. It's an incredibly generous deal. And there are no tents. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Show me the tents. Show me the tents. Nobody can do that. Nobody. Ask yourself this question, ladies and gentlemen. This has been going on now, what, since February 7th? A little bit before that. Ever since Trump he got in office, he's been talking. I've been doing it. And my channel is surging since then, since middle of January. Ask yourself this. How many of these people that have attacked me on other channels have refuted anything I've said and convinced you that they were correct? Do you know what they say on other channels? White supremacist, right-winger, racist, all of which is bullshit. And why do they do that? Ad hominem attacks when you have no argument, when you have no facts, when you can't dissuade people, when you can't convince people because you have nothing in your quiver. You're firing a bow with no arrow in it. You know what you do with that? All you get is a rope burn on your arm. Yep. Patrick says, I'm fit, youngish, can run 30 kilometers, but I need 8 hours sleep. Well, I used to be able to run 30 kilometers. I ain't doing that anymore. It's too late in life for that. Yeah, Kansas is mostly flat, John. That's correct. Hot Full Biker says, New Mexico, Texas, Arkansas, what I've seen in those states, people are more like me. Georgia, yeah, Georgia is incredibly humid. Ugh, and too many people up around Atlanta. No thanks. Okay, they even put Afghanistan refugees on our military bases. Exactly. They kicked military out of military housing and let these dirtbags destroy the housing, and the military had to live off post because they can give them a housing stipend. But they weren't allowed to live on the base where they wanted to live. And they put these people in our neighborhoods and put them in our defense schools. Couldn't even speak English and dumped them in our schools. Caused all kinds of social problems at Fort Hood and other places. They kicked military out of housing at Fort Bliss to house these refugees from Afghanistan. Thank you, Army 3275. I forgot about that. I like the fact that we'll be assisted to get a job. I'm 50 years old, but still willing to work and can't wait. Yeah, you get assistance, Stephen. Every state, it varies how they do it. They've all got job things, and all of it plays a role with the refugee. We expect you to work. If you're incapable of working, they don't expect you to. But if you're physically capable of working, you're expected to work and contribute to the tax base. Yep. Pay your Social Security. Pay your income tax. Yep. They came to your house, asked questions about it. I suppose I'll be moving soon. Exactly. There comes the expropriation, Buck. It's a DA Agri guy on Isaac's show that says we're going to live in tents. Tell me the link. Tell me, when was that on? On Isaac's, the News Pod show? Was it in Afrikaans? Probably in Afrikaans. The DA agricultural guy is a fucking liar. I don't know who it is, but he's a fucking liar. And you can tell him I said that. How does he know you're going to live in tents? How does a fucking DA agricultural guy from South Africa know jack shit about the refugee program in America? Somebody tell me that. Somebody tell me how he knows what the fuck he's talking about. Seriously. How does some DA pogue know what's going on with the U.S. refugee program? Hawaii, okay, I've answered that many times too, Martin. No, I've given you a list of the most common places where refugees go. I've covered this many, many times. If it's here, I'll go over it again. I have all this paperwork here. Here we go. There it is. Table. Okay, there you go. Too many documents here. All right, so also I have my paperwork to file for running for office. I'm in an election next month. So these are the most populous states. This is in 2022, so it's a couple years ago. This is initial resettlement. By the way, because people, can I move? Can I move? Yeah, you can move. See that? Initial resettlement. Refugee arrivals by state of initial resettlement. Initial, which means you can move. You're not locked in. If you don't like New Jersey, and I understand that, you don't have to stay there. 2022, California, 2,178 arrivals. That's almost 8.5% of the arrivals. Texas, 2,114. New York, 1,394. Kentucky, Washington, Ohio, Pennsylvania, 1,100. There are nobody going to Hawaii. Well, the other sheet's not here, but I did look at it. So they have a cap. So this is a goal. This is a target, but sometimes they exceed this. So for 2022, they had 125,000 was the expected number of refugees from around the world. In 2023, the expected ceiling was 125,000. So this is a report the president must prepare for Congress every single year. Okay? So Africa is the top 40,000. 40,000. Okay? 1,000 people. But that's a target. That has nothing to do with the refugee resettlement program from South Africa. That is a standard, a guideline, which has been exceeded in the past. It has been exceeded in the past. Example, the Afghans pouring into this country in record numbers because of Joe Biden's incompetence. DA guy. I want to know who it is, Peter Smith. I want a name on that guy. If illegal Mexicans stay in a hotel running $59 million bills, where they put illegal? Exactly. Putting illegal aliens in hotels in Manhattan. Do you know what a hotel in Manhattan costs? I can't afford a hotel in Manhattan. Charles is looking forward to a tent. Well, you can buy a tent. You know, they sell them at REI, at Bass Pro Shops. You can buy all the tents you want. That's right. People watch too many movies and believe bullshit. Well, he heard it from some guy from the DA. What are expensive? Oh, Alaska and Hawaii. Yeah. Alaska and Hawaii is the most expensive destination. I ran through that data too on a recent one. Most expensive place in America. Highest cost of living, 192% of the average cost of living in Hawaii. Alaska's high too. It's remote. Take my tent in Half Moon Bay or Kitty Hawk. Hey, Heinrich Schoenfeld, how you doing there? Line of sand. There's an Afghan on my stoop. Yeah, I went to the park here nearby the other day. 20 Hispanics. There's no Hispanics that live in this town. None. Zero. None. Suddenly there are 20 of them hanging out in the park having a barbecue. And a bunch of Afghans running around with the face coverings and stuff. There are no Afghans here. What the hell's going on? There are no refugees coming from either of those destinations currently. None can come in. Where are these people arrive from? Where did they pop up in our neighborhood from suddenly? Yeah, these EFF guys are going to wind up getting shot when they go through somebody's door. The mere fact that these DA and work for Agris says a lot. They're scaring Afrikaners because they worry. Yeah, so the DA is becoming irresponsible. Sinead Dutoy, good morning to you. Morning, Brits. Good morning, Colonel. Hope you're well. I just want to thank you again for your passion, what you do. Okay, I would love to become a member. Mornay Brits, do not attempt to become a member. Please keep what little money you have to take care of yourself and your needs. I do appreciate the interest in people becoming members. I'm very grateful for it. We have 1,000 members now. I'm gobsmacked. That's unbelievable. We've never gone over like 250 before, and that was briefly when people bought memberships. We dropped back to 130, usually around 130, 100 people. It's amazing. Thank you for those who can afford it. Really do appreciate it. It does make a difference. For example, I was just looking at flights the other day. If I fly to South Africa now, it would cost me between $2,000 and $3,000 for economy. $2,000, $3,000 for economy, whether it's United or Delta, doesn't matter. So that's 40 to 60,000 Rand just to get to South Africa. That's a lot of coin. Yep, and that comes out of my pocket. So that stuff there after I pay my taxes does help with it. But please, I appreciate your sentiment. View the channel. Watch as much content as you can, as you have data that you can afford to spare, unless you have unlimited data, no cap. And then watch everything. watch the adverts. Let the adverts play, even if you're not going to buy anything. I understand you don't want to shop at Temu. I wouldn't either. Take a lot. Just let it play. And tell people about the channel. Spread the word. People are talking about the channel. People are talking about me. Not all of it's good. TVN says a lot of false narratives being pushed, even from the DA. The politicians know that if we leave, we take jobs, food security with us. Yep. Where would you say is the best state for South Africans to adopt to these? Again, Sinead Dutoy, that's impossible. South Africans are not one lot. Afrikaners are not one lot. Boers are not all the same. People are different. People have different likes. And you also have like 6 different climates in South Africa. You have subtropical in KZN. You have Mediterranean Western Cape. You have high desert Chaparral in the Highveld. You have temperate in parts of Mpumalanga. You have desert in the Karoo, semi-desert. So it's up to you. I mean, I'd have to know you to answer that question. Let's be honest. I would not mind living in a tent. There's a difference between refugees being held in illegal detention for crossing. That's exactly right. Thank you, Army. That's a good point. But even that, they are treated well. Illegal people, you come to this country, you're invited in this country. We take care of you. Look, my entire time in Africa, I brought Africans to America. And never once, now not many people can say this, I never once, and this is good fortune too, but also good vetting, never once had a single one of my soldiers from any African military, whether it was Mauritania, Niger, Uganda, Ethiopia, Botswana, Malawi, not once did one of them skip on their visa and not return when they're supposed to, including the ones we sent to Germany. And I put my reputation on the line with the German ambassador there, which was interesting because he was from the Baltic states. He was from Latvia, born in Latvia. This is back in, 2007, born in Latvia, and his parents fled with him as an infant and took him into what became the western part of Germany, and grew up and later became an ambassador, and was later in life was an ambassador in Liberia. And we talked, and because I knew about the Baltic Germans, and I knew about Heinz Erhardt, yeah, I love Heinz Erhardt, we had a hell of a conversation, and the Germans were unwilling to let us send the Liberians because they were worried they're going to be economic refugees and disappear into the woodwork. And so I put together a program, and he approved it. I showed him the vetting process. I briefed him at his embassy, at his Botschaft, and he loved it. And they allowed us to send the Liberians to Germany, and it was brilliant. So, yeah, I've never once had one of them jump it. But, so not everyone has that good fortune. Hate misinformation, and, of course, mainstream media has gone overdrive. Yep. Immigrants also seem to get small business loans easier than American citizens. That is odd, isn't it, Holden? I don't know if that's a bias in the system or there's specific loans set up for them from the Small Business Administration, something like that. But, yeah. A lot of immigrants and refugees tend to seem to, on the outside, appear to get loans easier than Americans do. It appears that way. I don't know if it's true. We treat our refugees very well in our country. Some would even say too well, compared to Native Americans. Yeah, the DA guy can go kick rocks. Exactly. Diane Humpel, welcome to you. You see, we got a lot of Americans tuning in now. Thanks for joining us. The Americans appreciate that. How about that Trumpster, man, today? He was great, wasn't he? I'm sure Cabela's Bass Pro. Yeah, Cabela's is owned by Bass Pro now. Yep. One thing is certain, South Africans who seize this opportunity will forever be grateful to Republicans. Put us in swing states. We'll make them Republican. Only thing you need to know is you will be living in different cultures, so this is something you'll need to accept, and you will become totally self-sufficient to live where you are. Yeah, exactly, Alan. Exactly. Okay, Pete's going to try to find the podcast. Thank you. Marius says, not based on facts, but it seems that some building eviction court cases are being slowed down by the courts. Is it possibly the start? It is, Martin, and it's already been announced. When the communists tell you who they are, believe them. And Cyril Ramaphosa said, we're going to confiscate buildings that are abandoned. Well, they're not abandoned. You just haven't done your job kicking the illegal squatters out, and you've basically forced the owners to not be able to get their property back, so now you're calling it abandoned. Yep. It is happening. Yeah, I need to make a video on that. They can go live in a tent in California and smoke crystal meth. Thank you for standing up for the truth. It's something we don't get often. Thank you very much, Rachel. Get the feeling Freedom Front Plus and UIM are going to be big winners into all this. Yeah, I think you might be right about that, but they won't win enough to make a difference. Some good info in past videos. There are. Mariska, good morning to you. I wouldn't go to Hawaii. It's beautiful, but it has lots of anti-white racism and violence, actually. That's true. It's also incredibly expensive. Will it be a point of fleeing south or just be called a Howley? Yeah, attacked. Yep. Yeah, no, Hawaii is... No, I don't even visit Hawaii. I've never been. Not interested. Courts drag eviction cases to the point where the owner can't afford legal fees and eventually abandoning. Around post calls this abandonment and instruct. Exactly. That's exactly right. You were spot on. That's exactly what I'm making my video about. Yep. That's exactly right. Yep. 360. You are spot on. That's what's going on here. Yep. Oh, so we got a big day later today, folks. I got the news, and then I've got two interviews. One with Zain Simon, the bribe rookie girl, and then with Deputy Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, Major General Bantu Holomisa. Citizen concern is after the USA. See, okay, that's where she's inconsistent. What did she say about the USA? I worked for Carnival for 4 years. Love the American people in the country. On return, my passport was stolen in Ortamba. Cannot wait to go back. Jeez. Kid in the room stayed silent. She only rented, so we already moved her out of the house. Okay. What does citizen concern do? If you have YouTube Premium downloaded, it counts as full view, and the Colonel gets paid for it. We'll be just thankful to get there. Okay. Francois Swart. Ananofish is back. Are refugees? Ooh, where'd you go? Normally resettle together as a community? No, you're not resettled as a community. We're not asking for people to come here and turn us into a Sharia land or turn us into Little Havana. But yes, there tends to be a bit of clustering. But families, nuclear families, yes, get resettled together. They don't separate. Don't put your daughter in Hawaii or in Colorado and you in Maine. It doesn't work that way. I saw YouTube videos of illegals living in hotels in New York, and New York is cock expensive. Yes, because we were paying for it out of our pocket. This was a consequence of the Biden regime invading America with criminal alien invaders. They're being deported now. Going to Texas. Okay. Good morning from Pretoria. That's how you get clusters of things. You get clusters of Palestinians who've moved to Patterson, New Jersey, and are conquering Patterson, New Jersey, and trying to change the name of Patterson to Palestine. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then you get a bunch of Somalis who go to Maine and then complain it's racist. Everybody's white up here. No, you're the racist. No one asked you to come up there and demand, because you came up because you got free services because the people in Maine were too generous with their resources and it encouraged idiots like these Somalis to go to Maine. And then they bitch about it. Or these ungrateful pricks go to Minneapolis and settle in Minnesota and they try to pervert that place like Ilhan Omar. Go Trump. Thank you for acknowledging us as Boers, separate from Afrikaners, both Afrikaans. Yeah, okay, Marquis, but you all have a good habit of dividing each other up, okay? Boer by blood, engineering by trade. Don't farm the land, but on the backbone. Runs deep. Thank you, Colonel. Much appreciated. I do watch all your content. I do definitely tell everyone about you. Please tell me where I can follow your rugby channel. Oh, morning. It's at Rugby Ascendant. At Rugby Ascendant. Yep. So 424 people currently here, folks. That should do it right there, at Rugby Ascendant. Okay, Charmaine, I'll make you a mod. Let me find you here, Charmaine. You said that at 12:34. Oh, where the hell's Charmaine at? Oh, come on. It was 12:34. There it is. All right, Charmaine, you're temporarily the moderator. You can share the link. Okay. Good morning, Emarancia Diedrichs. Freedom Front Plus got my vote, but they need more social media presence. They do. They need a better marketing strategy. And all those you voted for them in 2019 to piss off the DA and then abandon them in 2024, shame on you. Or 2021 voted for them, abandoned them in 2024, shame on you. Yeah, that was some of you. They lost some of their vote. Makes great videos, but there was some disagreement on the Afro Reform topic. Chris commented on one of her videos about that, but otherwise she's great. Oh, that's an old video, though. I thought somebody said it was today. I'm asking what she said today. Africana wants to know if people stayed away from the election and only a percentage. If 10% of the electorate shows up, it's a legitimate election. You don't negate an election because people are too lazy to vote. They chose not to vote. That's their vote. Yeah, it's a legitimate election. There's no threshold. Wonder how the bribe-rookie girl is not asking for me. I'm married. Well, you'll have to tune in tomorrow or later today. My workers say the word is out in township for a national strike to remove Ramaphosa. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a vote of no confidence coming. The only reason it won't be voted out is because of the DA. There's no sordid history why Puerto Rico was never a state. Puerto Rico was a territory acquired through the Spanish-American War, one of our few acts of imperialism there. It was a territory. There's 3 different movements in Puerto Rico. One, to remain a commonwealth because they get all the tax advantages, they get American passports, and they have none of the responsibility. They don't pay income tax. They get Social Security, and they are defended by America, and they are American citizens, and they don't even have to learn English. It's a great deal for the Puerto Ricans. So the Commonwealth, there's another movement. That's 1/3 of the population. 1/3 of the population wants it to become a state, and most of us don't want them to become a state. If English becomes the norm there, and they pay taxes, that's why they don't want to become a state, then they can become Americans. And the third thing is there's a movement for independence. The Commonwealth is the strongest typically, so there's no sordid history. Hey, Jacqueline Bota. At Home Affairs, I was told we can wait up 12 months for all unabridged documents. Well, I tried different Home Affairs office, so I were you, Jacqueline. Apparently, Somalis running rampant, shouting racist. Exactly. They're the racist. They're the racist. They're the biggest racists I've ever seen, Somalis. Well, other than the Chinese. Not all of them, but, generally speaking. CIA killed Kenny Gaddafi. And she has evidence of that? She has evidence of that? The CIA didn't kill Gaddafi. He was killed by Libyans. Good God. Yep, Somalis hate white people. They respect racial violence in South Africa. They do it in Maine, too. Faraday Visser, what is your thoughts on Trump sending troops to South Africa? Not likely to happen. Okay. Someone told me yesterday, at least we don't have a war. Then you realize you always kept quiet and hope for the best. Yeah. Next Rugby World Cup, USA will be winning it. No, we won't. Next Rugby World Cup is in 2027 in Australia, and we're not going to win that one. Thanks for the content. You guys are welcome. Did she put the link in? Yeah, mostly regret voting. Dan, why don't you vote back? Yep, well, I cautioned you before the election. I did encourage people in 2021 to vote for the DA, but in 2024, I said vote for your conscience. Yeah, Morning. Should be two good conversations. Oh, Alaska is beautiful. It's amazing. 2031, we might do better. Many politicians out of Spanish American war thought Puerto Rico too savage to become a state. Well, yeah, they're probably Democrat racist. Yep. So did she put the link in there? I don't see the. Oh, there it is, Charmaine. Thank you. 1239. Damn it. Where's it at? 1239. There it is. Okay. Okay. So it's a news pod 3 days ago. Okay.
Turn your ideas into video.
Do you happen to know where it was at? Because how long is this? This is probably an hour or something like that. It's 2 hours. Do you happen to know? So let me see. I'll jump ahead a little bit here. Okay, he's just doing his news. So it cuts out. Already half hour I've cut out. 43 minutes, 48 minutes, 54, 59. Let's see.
As ek nou moet vlug en wie wil vir my so klein bietjie amnestie gee, maar al wat ek gekry het is bloekombome en hulle.
Is that Yvonne Meyer? No, there's Yvonne Meyer. He's a colored guy. Let's see if he speaks in Afrikaans or English. Huh. I like Isaac's shirt. Newspot, that's pretty cool. Okay, Somalians hate white people, incite racial violence in South Africa. Okay. What a great time to go this. The next 10 years, maybe money will probably double in value. Hey, Dusty, how's it going? Miranda, Braibrookies. Have we got him?
Daai skakel, nuwe skakel werk toe en daar is die agbare Ivan Meyer. Ivan, ekskuus man, ek het nie geweet jy sukkel met daai skakel nie.
Ja.
So hoeveel tyd het ons?
Ons het so let ek gou hier kyk.
All right, well, I'm going to have to translate that or spend some time on that. All right, I've got it. Let me download that, see if it'll download for you. No, it won't download. Okay, it's protected for some reason. All right, but I'll go back to that later. All right, so I found it. Thank you for that link. Charmaine, okay. Come on, where's this at? All right, I took your spanner away, Charmaine, because you said for 2 minutes, okay? Only 17 million voted out of 26 million, out of 63 million. Well, out of 43 million eligible. That's the thing that really matters there. Can't wait for the bribe, Woodkeys. Okay. Mark Wilkinson. Is that who that was there? Welcome to you. I understand Alaska's expensive, but it looks beautiful if it is. Holden. Okay. People say getting their education. Okay. Neil Potketer. Good morning. Thank you for your honest, unbiased news. Well, it's objective. It's not unbiased. I visited my sister in Vancouver in 94 and we entered the USA for just a day. They let me in without a visa. It won't happen now. Yeah. No, you used to be able to come across the border pretty straightforward with a driver's license or something like that from Canada. Wasn't asking if the election was legitimate. But please read my question properly. If you don't want to reply, that's fine. When is a 40% plus no-show a vote of no confidence? Christ, I swear to God. Keys, read my question properly. Well, I don't know what keys means. If you don't want to reply, that's fine. When is a 40% PUSK no-show a vote of no confidence? Again, I have to divine what you're saying because your question's unclear and you have typos in it. And so you're unhappy that I didn't answer properly? Well, type it properly. Take the time to type it. You're asking if 40% no-show, so if only 60% of people show up, is that of no confidence? No, it's not. I answered that question. What do you mean by a vote of no confidence? We're not a parliamentary system. I don't understand. You're talking about election. Are you saying it's a lack of confidence in the election? We traditionally in presidential elections have hovered at 52 to 55% until the last few. Now we've had higher participation. But for years, we could barely get 55% of the population to go to vote in presidential elections. It's not a vote of no confidence. People just lazy. Check in the description. Time-stamped. Oh, okay. The description. Okay, let me see that. Okay. No, I found him. 125. I happen to find him. But yeah, I don't know how they put those timestamps in there. I don't know how to do that. Okay. Went to town, Linden. So Afrikaner Boer, I'm trying to answer your question, dude, but it's not very clear. If you encourage people against the DA, who is the mythical party that is an letdown? Okay, no. Stop, Cracker Barrel. Do not infer something I didn't say. Never said that. I said in 2019 or 2021, I encouraged people to vote for the 8 because it was the only realistic option. I didn't say you should vote for them. I said, vote for the party that has the best chance of getting an outright majority in your municipality. In most cases, that's going to be the Democratic Alliance. In KwaZulu-Natal, it could be the IFP. That's what I said. Maybe in the Northern Cape or some smaller Western Cape municipalities, it could be the Freedom Front Plus. But by and large, that means the DA. That's what I said. I said in 2021, vote your conscience. I didn't promote people to vote for the DA. I didn't say vote against them. I never said that. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't infer incorrectly. Boy. So pissed early this morning I had to attempt to stock theft. Lucky I was awake for your podcast. Sound the alarm. Oh, wow, Yolong, we saved your sheep. Man, thank goodness. My daughter could learn American on Xbox as fluent. Then you could learn Afrikaans quick on YouTube. 4 daughters, of which 3 are now in New Zealand. They're still young. I want to go to America. I have 1 daughter with me, so I'm waiting for the refugee stays. Will the girls be what, Felicity? Gets you going in the morning, says Kay's Garden. Yeah. So, where's he at? Afrikaner Boer met Keys Kokulor. Please ask your question. Did I answer your question? I'm not avoiding your question. I answered what I read there. Okay. I'm not unhappy. I'm asking pertinent questions. Ask my typos you can read. No need to get salty. Asked and answered. Sarky. You were the one being snarky. You're like, you don't have to answer my question. Dude, I answered your question. All you had to say is that, Chris, you didn't understand my question. Could you reread it? That's all you had to say. You were the one who was salty. I just gave you the salt back. That's all. You were the one who was salty, not me. I love how people, are snarky to me and then they accuse me of being snarky to them. I don't just attack people in the chat. No. Wouter Olafia is in Toronto. Is he supposed to be Toronto? It's only you, Marius. People think if we put together a black government, it'll be okay. Show me one place in Africa where this is true. Canary Islands, Rwanda, Botswana. All right, Marcel, have a good day. Ingrid Kenny, welcome to you. Is it early? Most people have hip typos as the coffee hasn't kicked in. Probably. Colonel, what do you think about getting Carolyn Levin on your show? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Love to get her on. Love to get her on. That's not going to happen. She's the one that told me to apply for press credentials to the White House press room and then promptly ignored my request. She's not coming on this program. None of those people come in this program. Not going to get Tucker Carlson. Not going to get Carolyn Levitt. Not going to get Candace Owen. Not going to get Charlie Kirk. Ben Shapiro. They all live in their little bubbles, their own little worlds, and they only let certain people in the tent. Not going to happen. Not ever going to happen. Do get some decent people in the program, though. I've had Dr. Victor Davis Hance on the program a few times. It's been a while since he's been on, though. Yep, but he's pretty cool. Janisa Lawrence, welcome to you. Welcome to you. Colonel, going to get cross under the, what's this? What did Mark Wilkerson say? You're not classed as being persecuted if you're not living in South Africa. Yeah. So Mark Wilkinson, I'm not going to get cross. Okay. I'm a South African living outside the U.S. for the past 6 months. Will it be possible to apply for the refugee program outside South Africa? Unlikely, Mark. However, there is a possibility that the way that, however they write this program up, that if you're on a work visa, on a temporary visa abroad for a short period of time, they may not count that against you. Possibly. I can't promise you. We have to wait for the standards. But normally, you have to apply. You're not going to have to apply from South Africa. So we have to wait and see, Mark. We have to wait and see. My recommendation would be that if the program becomes available, you're going to apply online. Be ready to get a short notice plane ticket. Have an address in South Africa because obviously you have a home in South Africa. And then apply. And if you get a message to come in for an interview, get on a plane, fly back, do your interview, and then get on the list. And go back and wrap up wherever you're at. What do you think, Caroline Levin? Oh, I did think Morning. I'd love to have her on a program. Okay. Yeah, so Mark, I think that's the answer to that. Just saying. That's what I'm saying. Virgin Islands and the Guam are U.S. territories. That is correct. Neil Krug is back in from Zambia. Budget is a mess. She says she was warning a tourist of people wanting to steal his bag. Then the thieves assaulted her for warning the tourist. Jeez. So I missed a few things in the chat and I went back there. Okay, back to that. Okay, Botswana's okay if you're a tourist. Try to go there as a truck driver. It's corrupt. I don't know how it's corrupt, Cobus. I lived there. I never experienced corruption. Never shaken down by the police. I've stopped by the police at security checkpoints. Never harassed once. Yep. Oh, Tom Homan would be awesome. I love getting him on here. Arctic's not that interesting, Reg. Trust me. Not that interesting. You can invite John B. Wells in the program. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. John B. Wells. I've had his wife on the program. She's been on. Interesting conversation there. Gina Callett says, thanks for sharing. Enjoy your shows. You're awesome. Straight. No breaks. There you go. Okay. Their loss. I agree it's their loss. Joe Rogan. Yeah, well, I don't know Joe Rogan. He's not calling me. I can't get on his show. I'd go on there, sure. Yeah, maybe Ernst can get me on Tucker Carlson, and maybe I've already made a note of that to Ernst. Good morning, Ranger Jakes. Okay, this might be a dumb question. Do I need a South African passport to apply for refugee status? I've never needed one, and I can't afford it at the moment financially for 3 people. Okay. Is Het Stoltz, I would ask you to watch my content. You're popping in here as someone new. Clearly, you haven't watched my videos. So, just a second. I'm going to give you this link. You don't have to go there now, but you should go there and you'll find a whole bunch of questions. This is my Substack. You may have to subscribe to it, but it's not blocked. So, yeah. So that's a page. That's a document there that has a bunch of links to the videos back here at YouTube. That way you don't have to go hunting for them. It'll take you right to the pertinent videos and it'll answer most of your questions, if not all of your questions about refugee status. Since you've asked and you're new and you've taken the time to subscribe to the channel, is Het Stoltz, I will answer your questions best I can right here. We do not know. Refugee status is something that's normally for refugees. Nobody in South Africa is a legitimate refugee. Not one of you. However, President Trump has issued an executive order which will give you refugee status rather generously. You have not fled from your country because of a conflict or persecution and gone to a neighboring country where you found safe haven and then are seeking resettlement in a safe country. That is not your situation. None of you fled to Namibia or Botswana or Mozambique or Eswatini or Lesotho. You're still in South Africa. You're getting what's called in-country refugee status, which is an unusual but not unprecedented status. Normally, refugees don't have jack squat. They're lucky to have their family members with them in one piece. No documents, no money, no nothing. They flee. They live in tents. That's the people living in tents. From Darfur to Chad, from Somalia to Kenya, the world's largest refugee camp with 650,000 people living in it for 35 years now. 35 years. And then, from South Sudan to Uganda. Those are the people living in tents. And the United Nations High Commissioner of Refugees registers them. Then countries willing to take refugees contact the United Nations, say, okay, we can take 50 people from this camp. So they take 50 people, and many of those people have no passports, so they're issued travel documents, either by the UN or by the country that takes them in, like the US. So I don't know the situation in South Africa, but I suspect they're going to expect you to have a passport. But since you have no money, there's nothing you can do about it except wait and find out. If they say you have to have a passport, then you're going to be screwed unless somebody can raise money to get you a passport. Or someone can, grant you money to get a passport. Passports are cheap. I mean, I know they're not cheap if you don't have a job, but 600 Rand for the first time passport, that's nothing. I wish that's what I pay for a passport. I have to pay $180. I have to pay almost 4,000 Rand for a passport here in America. Yep. And then wait 6 weeks. It's crazy. So to answer your question, that's as best I can answer it, is that we have to wait. We have to wait and see. So my recommendation is if you got some wealthy friends, get in the queue and get your passport. You should always have a passport. Always. Okay. Did I answer your question, Izhet? Pete? Colonel, people can take your words and twist it to what they mean regarding your earlier comment on voting your conscience for your party. Exactly. No, that's right. Well, even if it's unintentional, people hear what they want to hear all too often. I've heard people come in and argue with me. Well, you said this. I didn't say that. I never said that. You inferred it incorrectly. I didn't imply it or state it. No, as far as the elections, I'm very clear. In 2019, or 2020, I keep saying 2021, because I wasn't doing this in 2019. In 2019, I was in Japan for the World Cup. In 2020, when I started doing this, I encourage people for 2021 to vote for the party that's going to most likely get a majority that's not the ANC. In most cases, that was the DA. In some cases, particularly in KZN, it would be the IFP. And maybe in a rare case, it might be someplace, I don't know, like Neisner or somewhere like that, or, Mossel Bay. That isn't the case, but maybe it could be the Freedom Front Plus. So basically, you were voting for the DA. Anything to get a majority. My argument was this: we don't need coalition governments. And all these South African politicians were talking of coalition governments of the future. Coalition governments. That's because they knew they couldn't win. Focus. 50 plus 1. 50 plus 1. You fight for 50 plus 1. Then you don't need a coalition. Then you govern without the BS that we saw in Nelson Mandela Bay. When Athol Trollop was under a throat and Julius Malema cut the throat of whiteness in his racist comment. We're going to cut the throat of whiteness in Nelson Mandela Bay. And he turned out a government that was the most beneficial to people in that town in history. It accomplished so much in just a few months. Constantly under threat by these scumbags in the EFF. You don't need them in a coalition if you get 50 plus 1. And it's achievable in many places. That was my argument in 2021. In 2024, the DA proved to be a huge disappointment in much of the Western Cape. A huge disappointment. And their positions were fickle. And it was clear that they were more concerned about the rights of LGBTQ, LMNOZ, XYPL community than they were about ordinary South Africans. Not that LGBT, XBQ, LMNOZ are not ordinary South Africans, but you get my point. They were focused on niche areas, not general interest areas for people like property, like education. And so they took their eye off the ball. And so in 2024, I said, vote your conscience. Anything but MK, EFF, and ANC. That's what I said. Go back and watch the videos. Those videos are all still there. Newest information from President Trump. He only speaks Afrikaner farmers that will be helped. No. See, fake news. Who told you Afrikaners? See, that's the problem. Who are you listening to? Lawrence, not attacking you, buddy. Not attacking you. Who told you Afrikaner farmers? Did somebody tell you that? They're a liar. Here's the message. I'll put it on the screen for you. Folks. Hang on. It's going to take me a moment to find it because I download so many images every day. Come on, where's Trump's thing at? A few days ago. Got to be close here. That's not it. Close. Come on. There it is. Got it. Okay. All right. So, you tell me where this says Afrikaner farmer. Okay? Lawrence, I'm not attacking you, but this is the problem with people assuming, not saying you did, or people telling people things. There's nothing in here that says Afrikaner farmers. Nothing. That's bullshit. That's total fabrication. Here's the statement from Donald Trump on the 7th of March, a month after he issued the executive order. This is on Truth Social. South Africa is being terrible. Plus, to longtime farmers, capitalized, I don't know why, in the country, they are confiscating their land and farms, and much worse than that. A bad place to be right now. And we are stopping all federal funding. To go a step further, any farmer with family from South Africa seeking to flee, there is no mention of Afrikaner. Not one mention of Afrikaner. Where do people get this horse shit from? You are listening to fake media. Now, you can assume it's Afrikaners, but any farmer, as I said when this came out, hey, if I'm a colored farmer, I'm applying. Because it says any farmer who fears for their life. Black farmers, Indian farmers, colored farmers have all been murdered. There's no Afrikaner there. Where do people get this stuff from? It's unbelievable. I'm honest. Look, Lawrence, this is not directed to you. Don't take offense. It's not, but this is a response to this because this keeps coming up. Where are people getting this horse shit from? Who is telling you this bullshit? All you have to do is read the stuff. Go to the White House, read the executive order, read this, read the State Department's messages. People keep, it's astounding. It's gobsmacking. I'm going to pop an aneurysm here. Honestly. See, this is why I do screen capture, so people can't make stuff up. Not you, Lawrence, but somebody's making stuff up. Someone's misleading you. Mark, you're welcome. They are so woke now that they'll never vote for them again. Okay, see you later, says Mark Bush. Yeah, I don't know where that comes from, Lawrence. Aaron said he's going to America for interviews. Really? I didn't know he disclosed that. Okay. All right. No, I didn't watch Dan. I don't watch Dan Quarter Chronic. I have no desire for, poking my eyes out. I only know about him when people say things or I see clips. Could you or Ronaldo do an interview with John from the DA and Malema from the EF? Well, I've asked for multiple times to interview. His personal assistant, his media person, is very, very polite, very friendly, but she never gives me an interview. I've had one interview with John Steenhuisen, and it was by happenstance because I insisted at the multi-party convention, and I treated him very fairly, even though he's very disrespectful and rude to me. His feelings were hurt because of something I said in a press conference because I didn't ask him a question, and he took it as a personal slight. It wasn't even directed at him, and he was rude and disrespectful to me. But I'll still interview him. I mean, I don't take that personally, but they won't give me an interview. They won't. I've asked a dozen times over the past 4 or 5 years, and they just blow me off. She's polite and friendly, but I don't even know if she even forwards it to him. So, no, I will never get an interview from John Steenhuisen. Just not going to happen. And I won't interview Julius Malema unless he asks me. If he asks me, I'll consider it. But I'm not hunting Julius Malema down. Farms for New Generation, new initiative from AFT that supports new and next generation farmers and ranchers gaining access to land. I don't know what that is, Vane Bezadenhout. Sorry about that, Razor, but it just isn't going to happen. If the thing happens, would I be able to apply for farmland like normal citizens? Okay, you don't apply for farmland. This isn't an African kingdom where you apply for farmland, Vane. I think maybe you're using the word wrong because it's coming from Afrikaans. You can buy farmland. You don't even have to be. You can buy farmland now. You got money? You got money and you're in South Africa? Buy some farmland. Go online. Look for farmland. Buy it. I don't recommend buying farmland sight unseen, but I'm just saying. Anybody can buy farmland. The Chinese are buying farmland here. They're trying to stop them. Nothing stopped me from being a property owner in America. You don't have to be in America to be a property owner. We don't have that requirement. You can buy farmland now. As a refugee, you can buy farmland. You can buy anything you want, except drugs. We'll kick you out for that. Yep. Don't push a loyal person to the brink. He no longer cares. Talking about SA stands towards minor groups. Huh? Would love to have you at the briefings at the White House. Oh, gotcha, Morning. Yeah. No, I'd love to be there, but that was all a scam. That was all bullshit. We're inviting non-traditional journalists into here. If you have a news program, if you're on non-traditional things like YouTube or Substack, we invite you in here. I was one of the first to apply. They've never even gotten back with me. Never called me, never texted me, never emailed me. It's all bullshit. I'm sure they got tens of thousands of requests, but mine was one of the first in the queue. All I got was confirmation that they got it. And the only people I see showing up in those meetings are One American News, Newsmax, and Breitbart. They're friends. So they gave me an excuse to let them attend. Zombie Wells introduced you to General Mac. I don't know, maybe. I didn't even know him. I didn't know he knows him. You don't understand. Until the 1990s, Afrikaners loved having a fight. It's always a thing after school. Today, it's the wimps that have YouTube channels, and it's their time to shine now. No, I don't understand what you're getting at, Lisa. I assume you're not calling me a wimp. Kay's Garden, I have contacted Citizens Concern repeatedly. I now have her number, and I contact her, and about 10 days later, she got back with me. She's that busy. And she said, because I said, look, I'm getting pestered by my audience. Every day they're asking me to interview you. I don't see you doing interviews. I think you did one for Gareth Cliff, but that's it. Would you be interested in an interview? She said, no, but you can tell your audience not at the moment. So possibilities there later on. She's just busy. But she'll never not become busy. So I think she was being polite. I don't know. Eyes had said, thank you very much. I appreciate the time. I've watched your content for a while and find it the best of anyone around else. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Going to renew our passports this week and get the kids' passports, says this F. How did you promote your channel when you started, or did you just wait for YouTube? No, I didn't, JP Rackmeyer. I didn't wait. So I have, okay, so LinkedIn used to be its own company. Then they sold their soul to Microsoft, which is another mistake. Look how Microsoft is destroying Skype. It's gone by May. It sucks. One of the best programs ever invented. So Skype is going away, but Microsoft has a habit of destroying good content. So they stripped all the stuff, the software out of it, the data they needed to make better stuff for themselves. Microsoft Teams is built off the back of Skype technology. Anyway, Microsoft bought LinkedIn. And before Microsoft bought LinkedIn, I was very active on LinkedIn. I grew a community on LinkedIn from a couple hundred when I started taking it seriously. After I became a professor at the War College, I started going on there more frequently. And I would search the news every day for articles about Africa. And then I would post a link to that article, and I would write some analysis of it, a couple paragraphs, what I thought was going to happen. And my audience grew because of my position and who I was and my background, grew to about 9,200 people following me. So when I started putting videos on my existing YouTube channel in February of 2021, I focused on what were 20-minute videos. And I made scripts, and I put a lot of effort into it. But I had poor equipment. I was using my laptop initially, which wasn't ideal. Then I used my PC, which was old, and the video card was built in the motherboard, which is not particularly good. Anyway, what I did is I promoted the YouTube channel on my LinkedIn, and that got me a few hundred subscribers. Then I was on Ronaldo one day. He had a call-in show. I was out exercising in Adams County nearby, through the apple orchards on the road, and people were calling in with stupid comments. They were just, I couldn't believe the things they were saying. So I called in on my phone. He took my call, and he was taking 2 minutes per call. It was about 20 after the hour. So my time was at 1 o'clock because he used to come on at 7. So it was about 1:20 when he took my call, and I'm walking down the road, and we talked for 40 minutes. He never let anyone else call in. And people were like, who is this guy? Man, who is he? And that started it. And so I grew. After that, from Ronaldo's program, I grew from like 170, I think it was, to 500 in a day or two after that, because people found me. And from there, it was just on. And every time I just started growing from there, people spread the word. And I appeared, everybody wanted me on their show. So I was on Scott Balson's program. I was on Renegade Reports. I was on Joe Emilio's program. I was on some 16-year-old kid who'd never done it before, didn't know what he's doing. I tried to help him with that. I was in a program in the Netherlands. And I was on a whole bunch of programs. And then I was on Willem Petzer's program, a whole bunch of programs, and then it just kind of took off. And I went from 2 to 23,000 subscribers in about 4 or 5 months. I thought that was a meteoric rise, and we were going like this. But I reported honestly about what happened in elections in 2020, and they didn't like that. I didn't claim it was stolen. I just claimed that the law was broken here in the state by the governor, the secretary of state, and by the attorney general, who's now the governor, which is what they did. And so they started attacking my videos January 6th. Attack, and eventually by April, my channel was gone. I started this channel figuring I'd never get that channel back, and started building this. And to be fair, Ronaldo helped me out immensely, because when your channel disappears, you have no way of telling anybody unless they follow you on WhatsApp or they have you on Twitter. And nobody was following me on Twitter. I had 500 followers at that time on Twitter, despite having a channel for almost 20 years. Ronaldo knew what happened to me, so he invited me on, explained what happened, and then he told people to come subscribe to my channel, and he helped me get back to 1,000, because without 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours, you can't live stream. And so I couldn't live stream until I got that back. But we got that back within a month, less than a month, and then we were off to the races. But the growth was slow because this account is tied to my AdSense account for the other one, and so they know it's me, so they put the kibosh on this channel. But we grew it up over time. But we were at 20,000 on December 31st of 2024. 20,374, if I remember correctly. And then as Trump was coming in office, we had the good fortune, from my perspective, to have an idiot on a flight from Fly Saf Air flying to Cape Town named Nobs Mkhize, who was disrespectful, rude, and physically assaulted passengers and flight crew on the flight and said, "I'm an ANC, bitch!" And that started getting more interest in my channel as I covered that objectively. And then Trump became president, and it all took off from there. Then the refugee program came out February 7th, and I've gone from January to now to 56,000 subscribers. It's more than double what we had. That's even more meteoric growth than I had before. It took me 4 months to do that, and I did it in about 6 weeks this time and got even more. But things slow down. So that's kind of a little history of what happened there, JP Dreckmeyer. I hope that's helpful. If my wife gives birth in USA while we're there as refugee status, will the child become? Yes, under current law and the interpretation of the 14th Amendment, your child would be an American citizen and would effectively be an anchor baby. So for those of you who are young enough and you're worried about, because people always say this, well, what if the Democrats take over? Will they strip the program? It doesn't happen like that. But what if they do? Well, then come here and knock up your wife and have her have a baby, and then you have an anchor baby. No, that's not true, Zafa. Your child has to be born from a citizen of USA to be automatically citizen. Untrue. Your child born here is a citizen entitled to birthright citizenship. That's the way the interpretation of the 14th Amendment is. That's why people are upset. Trump has ended birthright citizenship, but it's a question whether he has legal authority. That's going to go to the Supreme Court. They'll have to decide. As of right now, you get it. But you're in a process. So if you become a citizen after 1 year, I'm sure that includes your kids underage. No, you have to apply for your kids. It's not automatic. And you don't become, where do you get this 1 year? You can't become a citizen 1 year, Zafa. What are you smoking? You can't become a citizen after 1 year. No, that's impossible. Refugees get an accelerated process. After 5 years, if you're here and you obey the law, you can become a citizen. But you don't get that after 1 year. That's no. You've joined the military, U.S. military, as a foreign national. You serve honorably for 3 years. You can become a citizen at the end of those 3 years. But it's not 3 years. It's closer to 4 years by the time you get it. Most people are immigrants who come here. They apply. It takes 7 to 10 years to become a citizen. But refugees get it quicker. But there's no 1 year, man. I don't know where you're getting that from. Friends of Venat Tutoy are friends of mine. Well, Wouter Olafir, I'm a friend of Venat Tutoy. In fact, I was in touch with him today. My child is an adult. He is in the U.S. and a pilot in the U.S. Air Force. Well, your child is only a pilot in the U.S. Air Force if he's a citizen, because all pilots are officers and all officers have to be citizens, so your child must be a citizen. I think I will get a canvas tent for weekends. Ohio's Lake Erie. Steelhead trout. Not being funny now. Family of mine are looking at taking the refugee offer when it becomes available. Will their family relation to me be a problem? No, Stefan. That has nothing to do with it. I don't care. As long as they meet the standards, it doesn't matter where you live. Yeah, you get residency after 1 year. Well, you have to apply for residency within that first year. I think that's what the confusion with ZAF is. Yep. Thank you, 360 at 46. At 45. 46. Did you change that? Okay. Basi Blingno. I see you speak about farmers who will go to USA. Is Afrikaners part of them? Huh? Okay. All right. Let's do this again. Man. All right. I'm putting this Substack link pinned at the top. You need to click on that and go to Substack. And it'd be nice if you subscribe to my Substack. No requirement, but you'll find some interesting articles there. You also find the most recent document, which has links back to my YouTube channel, so you don't have to hunt for the videos that answer all these questions. But I'm going to answer your question, even though I've answered it 1,000 times. So first off, you need to understand what's going on here, okay? In the first thing, the only thing that matters at the moment, the direction to form a program for refugee resettlement for people who aren't really refugees. This is a program for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. So, where do you get farmer from in there? Who told you, Bozzy, that it's farmers? There's no such thing as farmers. This is the executive order, printed out with highlighted portions of my notes on it for answering thousands of questions. You can see I've been very busy answering questions over and over again. See that? Look at that. So there is no mention of a farmer anywhere in this document. The program is not for farmers. Not for farmers. And it doesn't exclude other South Africans. We don't know who it includes because the State Department must define what the U.S. government recognizes as an Afrikaner. Not some boer in the West-Transvaal, not Koestellerij, no, not Paul Kruger, not anyone in South Africa. It's up to the State Department to define what they consider to be an Afrikaner. The State Department later put a message saying ethnic minorities, but they've retreated on that. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, there is a mention of farmers in a social media post, which carries the weight of nothing. It's a social media post. However, Trump might issue an executive order related to this. So we have to wait and see. But this means nothing. There's no direction to the U.S. government. This does say farmers. But guess what? It doesn't say Afrikaners. It doesn't. It says any farmer. Black, white, brown, blue, green, yellow, gay, lesbian, straight, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian. Doesn't say. Any farmer. Any. That means to me, if you're black, apply. That is not a program of record. That is not an executive order. That is not direction. So the answer to your question is, if you're an Afrikaner and you are suffering from unjust racial discrimination, you'll be able to apply for refugee status when it's available. That's what the executive order says. That's all I can tell you, Bozzy. I hope that's helpful. So a lot of people spread nonsense out there, don't know what they're talking about, who can't read English, or they're lying to you because they don't want you to leave for whatever reason. They don't give a shit about you. They don't want to help you get a job. They don't want to help get rid of BE so you're not discriminated against. They don't want to protect your farms or your homes from invasion. They don't give a flying shit about you until you want to leave. Then they care, because who's going to buy their crap? Who's going to buy their goods? Who's going to shop with their, who's going to eat at Ocean Basket? Who's going to go to ShopRite? Well, I wouldn't go to ShopRite anyway. I'd go to Pick and Pay or Checkers. That's just me. But if you want to go to ShopRite, that's on you. Anyway, yeah, who's going to go to Cape Town Fish Market? Who's going to go to Game, you're gone. You ain't going to go. You think it's going to be the people that stay behind? Nope. Raina Fletch says, lived in the Netherlands for 14 months, learned a lot about EU. EDA is on board with those same policies. Trust me, it will only bring more control and globalization. Yep. Yolanda was going with two cars. A car pulled up next to him, pointed at his tires. Another car, and they all pointed his tires. He obviously thought something was wrong and pulled over. I don't know what you're talking about, Yolanda. I missed something. Love to see you in my most loved favorite channel, Colin, on the live show. Are you talking about Briefmerke? I've been on Briefmerke. If that's who you're talking about, I've been on that program. He invited me on. White man murdered in park in Universitas Bloemfontein Monday by blacks who stole his phone. Caught an old man, 72, refused to give the phone, is stabbed. I didn't see that in the news. They murdered a 72-year-old white man. Yep. Yeah, I don't pull over for anything. Even driving the police station, man. I covered that story a couple years ago, and these guys tried to murder these people, and they drove to the police station. The cops tried to put them in a prison cell. Yep. We should do a collaborative interview. Who's we? Case Garden. You? I don't know who you are, Case Garden. You need to tell me something about you. Doing my research to see if there's a Dutton in my family. Sorry for some questions. Is solar power installation expensive? No, they're more expensive here. Yeah, $250,000 for a small house. That's cheap. That's cheap. Installation to do my whole house would have been $45,000. So what is that in Rand? So to do my house, which is just it's a modest sized house. It's not that big. 45,000. Whoops. Times 19 Rand. That's 855,000 Rand to do my house. So 250 is dirt cheap. It's expensive. But I didn't pay anything for mine. I pay a monthly fee for it. Pay off their loan and they make money. So basically I'm paying off their loan with interest. It's not my loan. It's not in my credit history. It's a lease. They lease my roof and I pay them for them leasing my roof, but I get the electricity off of it, if that makes sense. Been a good week on solar for me. here in springtime. This is really better than last year in March. So I've had the panel since November of 23. But I look at my app, and yesterday now, because it's the 12th, come on, a little faster. The 12th, I got 37.7 kilowatt hours, 37.1 the day before, 37.4, 38.9, 39.2, and 37. So that's 1, 2, 3. That's 6 days in a row with over 37 kilowatt hours. That's incredible. So that's pretty good for March for this time of year. So I'm doing pretty well there. So, yeah. But I'm not paying for them. So what happens is that there's no battery storage, nothing stored. So everything generated when the sun is generating, if it exceeds what I consume, I run about 17 kilowatt hours per day for this house, roughly. Sometimes more, sometimes less, especially in the summertime when the aircon's on. But anything above 17 typically is banked. It goes right into the grid, and I get credit for it. And if I have more credits at the end of the month, then I have no bill. And I've had a bunch of zero bills, and my biggest bill has been like $60. My biggest bill before the solar panels was almost $300 in a month, which was insane. I don't use much electricity, but the price keeps going up. Jacobus Fundamentus, I'm doing research to see if there's a Dutton family in my tree. Oh, Yellowstan, that's all. Yeah, it's all fake, man. I know you're joking. Okay? You're going to volunteer to help the single ladies with your anchor baby. Okay. Has anybody watched the YouTube documentary Tainted Heroes? Yeah, I've heard about that. Is the program only for farmers? Seriously? I just answered that question. Yeah, Trump was choosing his Tesla. Made me want one. I don't even like electric cars. Nobody goes to Pick and Pay anymore. Well, where do they go? Arctic? Checkers? Yes, they only care when it affects their pocket. Exactly. Colonel's getting riled up again. Yeah, Arctic said, Eli, the Colonel literally just answered that question. Exactly. Jeremy says, what self-control you show? Yes, I do show a lot of self-control. It's funny because people, I'm afraid to ask a question. The Colonel's going to blixen me. I don't blixen people except for trolls. Can you talk about other in-country airfree programs? How's it done and qualified? Well, really, it's been done in, as I said, in Cuba and Bosnia-Herzegovina. I had some information on that, but I don't really pay much attention to it because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Each country, it's tailored, it's specific. It'll be a specific program. I think Evan Galopter did a video on this earlier. The attorney who's a law school professor, he did a video on it earlier, and he talked about, we really have to wait and see. It's taking time because they have to craft this program properly. You all got some weird situations. Someone wrote to me and said, well, I'm married to an Afrikaner and my kids are here, but the father of my children is Bulgarian. Bulgarian? What the hell's going on there? How do you have a Bulgarian father and then you're married to an Afrikaner? None of my business, but anyway, they want to know, can they come over? Well, if the Bulgarian knows he's the father, if he's the legal father, you can't come over unless he authorizes it, so you're going to have to deal with that. Anyway, yeah. Tops. I don't even know Tops. Worker got cornered by two blacks, asking when he's going to America refugee program. If I was your coworker, I'd say, what the hell are you talking about? When are you going to America? Why would I go to America? I'm South African. That's what I would say. No, Eli, literally 5 minutes ago, I just answered that question. You must have just popped on the program. And again, there's a link at the top of the chat. Click on that. It'll take you to the videos that discuss these things, including the 14 questions, the financial issues, the background checks, who's eligible for it. Go check it out. South African to be proud of. Derikus Duplessis is now ranked number 5. I thought he was number 1. Oh, there's a super chat. Is that like the first of the evening? Team Fenter. Wow. That's been dry this evening. There's the first chat. Is a modest house 3,000 square feet? No, a modest house is 1,500, 1,700 square feet. 3,000. You South Africans, man. Well, Holden Caulfield, you saw that, weren't you? Yeah, 3,000 square feet. That's a mansion, man. I've never had a house 3,000 square feet. That's insane. That's a freaking 3,000 feet. That's a mini starter house for Donald Trump. Okay, off to work. Kobus. Genoeg gepraat voor een dag. Okay, well, Kobus. Sorry that you felt it was cock talk. 2 solar batteries delivered yesterday just in time as we have power outage again today. Sorry, Stefan. Roderick Adams, what the government don't understand is the people who will be able to take up the Trump offer is people who work, people who pay tax. Yeah, Roderick, yeah, that's true, but not entirely accurate. The people who are broken, the people who are incapable of working, they're in the hundreds and the thousands, and they're going to ask for the refugee program too. Many of them are going to be a burden on taxpayers here, but that's okay. We accept them. That's why the refugee program exists. The number of people coming here and say, well, I'm physically incapable, I'm in a wheelchair, I have type 2 diabetes, I'm an amputee, I can't do this, can't do that. Dude, if you've listened to the horror stories that people have been sharing about their personal circumstance here for the past month, you would know that it's not just the people that can work that are capable. It's all kinds of people. That's the thing about refugee status. It applies to everybody. 92 or 2 years old, doesn't matter. It's not germane. Nuclear particle physicist or a ditch digger, someone who cleans toilets or someone that's a world-class chef, it doesn't matter. Christian, Muslim, doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how they define what this group of people is. Yep. So Roderick, what you say has truth to it, but it's not entirely accurate. We're going to get a lot of broken people that are never going to make any money or do anything for America other than maybe contribute their personal experience for other Americans, and add to the kaleidoscope that's America. But they're not going to be big breadwinners. They're not going to develop cures for cancer. They're not going to do anything like that, and that's fine. That's just how things go. Someone should care, and America cares. Unlike what the Canadian claim, oh, it's nefarious. What are the Americans up to? Shut up, dude. That guy's just a disgrace. Nathan Small, 140 Rand. Thank you, Nathan. That's cool. Appreciate that for the super sticker. It's your 3rd super chat. Yep. All right. So this may sound hypothetical, but if I'm a Homeland Security, knowing that majority of English-speaking South are from British descent, that they come to the party as well as... What? Offer the same. Okay, Alan, I have no idea what you're trying to say. I'm going to try to divine once again what someone's saying. Alan, I think what you're asking is English-speaking South Africans, will they be allowed to be part of this? If that's your question, we don't know. My initial response to this on February 7th when I read it is it says Afrikaners. I said, it's unfortunate. I wouldn't have written it that way. I would have said ethnic minorities who are unjustly persecuted because it's a lot bigger than just Afrikaners. That's what I would have said. The Monday after that, the only statement the embassy put out is it would include ethnic minorities, which by definition would include English speakers. Wait for the program, and if you're interested, apply for it, regardless of who you are. If you're black, you want to apply for it, apply for it. Okay? All they can do is tell you no. By the way, it costs nothing. It's free. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If the refugee program comes out and you have a question about whether you're eligible or not and you don't apply because you have a question, well, that's on you. It's not like you have to pay $10,000 to apply and then get turned down. You pay nothing. It's absolutely 100% free. Free, free, free. Why would someone not apply for something that interests them if it's free? Checkers and Woolies. Woolies, man. Overpriced. $3,000 is luxury depending where you live. Yep. Good to see Newsmax cover the farm attacks on TV. Yeah, we need to quit focusing on the farm attacks and focus on the laws that are being applied against South Africans. That's the issue here, not farm attacks. See, this is a distraction. Farm attacks is not what this is about. This says nothing about farm attacks. This executive order says nothing about farm attacks. And even the other one doesn't say farm attacks. Even the social media tweet doesn't say farm attacks. It says fueling violence against racially disfavored people, yes, but it doesn't say farm attacks. This is a red herring. Just like, see, you're all being hoodwinked. You're all being led around by the nose, by the media, and by the elites in South Africa who are distorting the argument. It's not about AfriForum and Solidarity coming to America and convincing American politicians it's farm attacks, it's farm murders. It has nothing to do with it. Because Trump did a tweet after Tucker Carlson had a special with Ant Throats 6 years ago. It has nothing to do with farm attacks. Stop it. Stop it. This is about South Africa abusing the United States. Good Lord. I'm not yelling at anybody, but this is really frustrating. I mean, how many times do we have to say this before people catch on? Read the order. Racially discriminated minorities is one aspect of this. Then it's the ICJ case against Israel. And finally, it's the most important piece, reinvigorating relations with Iran to develop commercial, military, and nuclear arrangements. And I know that the ANC is too stupid to get it because what do? Monyonke goes and has a meeting with the Iranian ambassador and puts it on Twitter. Have your meeting in private. Swap spit. Slob his knob. Whatever you do with the Iranians, the Farsi you love doing with the Persians, do it behind closed doors and to be done your business. But you don't go on Twitter and throw it in the world's face, in America's face, when we just told you that the problem why you're in trouble is because you're doing this. Either they're stupid or it's intentional provocation. I think it's intentional provocation. I can't think it can be that stupid. It's not about the farmers. And in South Africa, it's not about the farmland. Where's the proof? Well, I'm going to give you the proof right away. They're already going to confiscate commercial buildings in Johannesburg. That's not farmland. That's not farmland. It's not abandoned. The owners have been kept out of the buildings by scumbags, and the government's done nothing to protect the owners' rights. And now they wouldn't let them evict people. They wouldn't protect their property, and now they're going to evict it. You're being misled with red herrings. Red herring on the refugee program. It's not about farm murders. It's not. There's a question of safety, but it's not about farm murders. And the land question is not about land. It's about political control. It's about political control. Thank you, Vera Sequeira, for, is that Portuguese? Thank you for joining us. You're being misled by YouTube content creators, by politicians, by the media for sure, and by leaders in your so-called communities. Wake up. I have been saying consistently, ever since this bill was introduced in 2018, it is not about land. Yes, they're going to confiscate land. Yes, they're going to take it without, but that's not what it's about. It's about controlling you and silencing critics of the government. If a government can come to you and take all the money in your bank account or take a portion of your retirement account and say it was in the public interest and you get no compensation, they will do that to people who speak out against the government. They will do that to people who are not favored by the government, regardless of your race. If the people who like this law think it's only going to be applied to white people, you're a dumbass. It's going to be applied to anybody who's an opponent of the state. And it doesn't matter whether it's the ANC or the DA it's in power. Doesn't matter. The government of the day will abuse the law. No country, no government should ever have this kind of power. It's immoral. It's unjust. It's illegitimate. Whether it's in Washington, Paris, London, Jakarta, Beijing, Tokyo, Manila, Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, or Pretoria. No government should have this power. We've seen what happens when governments have this power. In Stalinist Soviet Union, in the Khmer Rouge's Cambodia, Kampuchea, in Venezuela. We have seen the outcome. It is not pretty. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. Alan, I don't know if I answered your question. I was trying to figure out what you said. Anyone have a good source to track your surname? Well, you can do a search online. There's different things to do it. Ancestry.com, I don't know if it's open to the public, has a search thing for, it used to have a search thing for surnames. Stone, 70 Rand, super chat. Thank you for that. DPP is awesome. Okay, Cape Town has the same solar initiative for its citizens. Oh, okay, Wenmari, cool. That's nice. Patience is a virtue I do not process without whiskey. I'm with you on that. Martinez Blitz. Checkers and Spar way too expensive. I go to Meat World. I don't even know that. Did a container conversion for a side office, 1,200 kilowatts, 100 kilowatt batteries, 3,000 watt inverter for under 100,000. You must have done it on your own. That's not commercial installation. In Wellington, Western Cape, Pick and Pay, Checkers the way to go. I know Wellington. I love Wellington. That's where Velbadoct is at, just outside of Wellington. Food Lovers Market is okay. In small towns, we try to support white-owned business and farmers selling direct. Anybody else try to support? Okay. Nathan Small likes Texas, apparently. He has a heart for it. I got it. Okay, says Eli Line. You found it. Okay. Only shop at Bangladeshi shops much cheaper. Probably true. You sure the origin of that meat you're eating? All right. Thank you, Colonel. I just want to be sure because me and my wife will be first on the plane. Okay. He's upset Israelis living in South Africa who are involved in farm protection units and is obsessed with Putin in China. Okay. Guys, don't believe anything about the rescue program if you don't get it from the Colonel. I don't trust any other news. Well, thank you, Morning. It's kind of you. Why is the world EU against Trump? Why in the world? Because they're leftist and they're racist. They hate white people. Yes, I know they're white, but they hate white people. Good night, Darlene. Okay, good morning, Franz Furry. People out, people in. Nathan Small, thank you for your super chat. Mariska Fissa, thank you for that. Thank you. Welcome to you. Because they're all globalist sellouts. Exactly, Xander. The absolute state of their countries and what they're doing internally around people, they're disgraceful. Yeah, they imprisoned a woman for 2 years, a German woman, because she posted on social media about a rapist from the Middle East or Afghanistan who raped a German girl, a 14-year-old German girl, raped her and was convicted of the rape and then released. And she complained about it and called the guy a rapist. He's a convicted rapist. His name was in the paper. And she put it on social media. She's in jail for 2 years for harming his dignity. What the fuck is that? What is that? That's insane. That be, in America we have sex offender databases. You can go online and check. Yeah, you can go online and check. Let me see. Does Pennsylvania, let's see, Maryland Sex Offender Registry. Okay. All right, Maryland Sex Offender Registry. Let me see if I can get it. Okay. Okay. So how do I do it? Okay. Okay. Cannot guarantee the accuracy. Registers may have moved when a name or photograph. Let me see, make sure I can show this online. The information should not be used to manner to injure, harness, or commit criminal act against individuals. So I will not show you on the screen, but I'm just going to do a search. Okay? All right, let's see what it says. If it works. Okay, I'm not a robot. Crosswalks. Okay. Verify. Check the new images. Crosswalks. One. There's only one. Well, it's gone now. Okay. Okay. Fender watch. Okay, it used to be a lot easier. You used to just be able to click on it and find it. What I was going to do is just pick a zip code and show you just how many people are freaking sex offenders. Go to the registry. Here we go. Okay. Okay, it's not letting me into the damn thing. Maybe because I don't have an IP address in Maryland. It's like tell a friend. I'm not telling a friend. Crosswalks, crosswalks, crosswalks. Verify. Okay, send. All right, it's not letting me unless I tell a friend, so I don't get this. Anyway, all right, but they have these online, sex offender databases. I wasn't going to share any names because you're not allowed to do that. Anyway, so yeah, you can go on and see it, all these sex offenders. So it's just there. So in the States, you can go online and see photographs and the crimes they're convicted of: child molestation, rape, all these violent sex offenses, public urination. That's a sex offense in Maryland, and you see it. And you see the conviction, you see where they serve time, you got the name, they give you the address where they're registered at because they have to be registered so you can protect your kids or protect your family. But in Germany, when the person is convicted of rape in a court and a woman shares that the convicted rapist is out in the street, she goes to jail for 2 years while the rapist walks around. It's insane. All right, Marlies Val, welcome to you. Take care. Goodbye. If one holds dual citizenship but was born in South Africa, disqualified for refugee status. It's been asked many, many times, Lou Rocker. There's no such thing as dual citizenship. You're kidding yourself. If you're South African, you have a South African passport, you're living in South Africa, and you qualify as a group oppressed, then you should apply. So, rich man, my dream is to have my own dairy farm. I had a dairy farm. It's a lot of work, man. You're welcome, Stone. Thank you for the super chat or sticker. People over 150 age, they have millions. Yeah, apparently we do have millions of people. We have some 300 years old. Arctic is saying no. Don't hold your breath on that, Arctic, about being right on that. And yes, Americans doesn't recognize dual citizenship, but they ignore it. They look the other way a lot of times too. So the only one in your family and your family doesn't have dual citizenship, maybe, but Chris should elaborate in my example. I've answered your question previously, Mickey, a couple days ago. I understood that refugees will be given a choice of 3 states to go to. Where do you understand that, Stone? Who told you that? Did you get that from USCIS? Did someone tell you that online? Where are you getting that information from? There's no program. You may be asked for 3 destinations. I don't know if that's true. I don't know where you got that from. You can ask, but the Department of Homeland Security will determine where you go based on absorptive capacity and resource they have in the area. If you buy property in the U.S. and you own property in your property area, you can ask if you can be relocated there. I mean, You can also go there after you've moved here. So. Who's lying U.S. immigration? Yeah, lying is not a good idea. You guys realize that these passports are all linked, right? Now after 9/11, they're all linked. So this isn't just a passport that you walk up and they look at the picture and go, okay, all right. Your passport has biometric data in it. It has data and codes in it that all the machines read, and databases are linked. So when they look at your passport, they can see things. All right, you do realize that, right? You do realize that. So if you have another passport, they're going to know about it, potentially. Not 100%. Anyway, you search your name and your birth date, and you find, oh, you got a Swiss passport and South African. Yep. Can you explain the issue with bitter enders? They're not bitter enders, they're better enders. I've seen you mention them a few times, but I haven't seen what the issue was. There's a group in Gauteng, I think it's Pretoria, call themselves the better enders. They're better instead of the bitter enders, which the people will never quit. They're saying that people shouldn't go. South Africa's a wonderful place. There's nothing wrong here. They're religious from what I can see, and I don't know what their deal is. But one of them, the one guy's telling complete fabrications of lies. The other guy seems to be honorable, but I don't know. These are the leaders of it. They've been quoted in the press. It's just yet another group of people who are trying to rubbish people's chances at a better life. So I wouldn't pay attention to them unless you feel the same way. Can you explain the issue with? Okay, I just did. Okay. Don't think this program would choose language. English, Afrikaans doesn't matter. If you're a minority being persecuted by definition, else it would say Afrikaner speaking. Yeah, no, it does say Afrikaners though, so we have to wait and see 360. Yeah, people don't read. You're right, Zaffa. They don't pay attention. They listen to other people and then they just listen to whatever crap and they believe it. Again, I keep showing you the documents. I keep referencing the places to go. That's why nobody is able to refute what I'm saying here. Now, you can try to refute my interpretation, but you at least have to reference the document for that. And people aren't doing that. Doesn't allow so many words, but in short, that Homeland could be asking for British counterparts if they will offer refugee status for the death sentence of British. Oh, Alan, okay, that's what you're getting at. Okay, well, let's just do a what if. Okay, Alan, you're British descent and your wife is an Afrikaner. She can get refugee status and you can get it with her and come because you're a nuclear family, as an example. Ask my Uber driver, are you leaving soon to America? Alma, I would say, why? Put it back in their face. Why? Are you leaving? When are you going? How are you getting to America? That's what I would say to them. Where are you going to live? Have you been there before? Why are you going to America? Don't you like South Africa? Put it back in their face. That's what you do. Be ready for it. You're ready for it. Alma, next time you're asked. Oh, no. Are you moving to America? When are you moving? Where are you going? Why are you leaving? Don't you like South Africa? And then their racism can come out, or their false assumptions. Well, they probably assume you're rich, that you own thousands of hectares of farms, and you own 72% of the farmland, 72% of the land. All the other stupid stuff that they're told. Low information voters. By farmer, Trump means white Afrikaners. Boer means, no, he doesn't. Our economics grad, are you in Trump's head? Are you in Trump's head? Are you going to stand by that 100%? Are you going to stand by the 100%? No, it doesn't exist. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It does not exist on the premise of white farmers. Read the fucking executive order. Now I'm going to get pissed. Read the fucking executive order. It doesn't say fucking shit about Afrikaner murders. It doesn't. Where do you get this bullshit from? These are assumptions. Jesus Christ. Where do you fucking make this stuff up? Show me. Executive order. Show me where it says farm murders. Where? It doesn't. This doesn't mean jack shit until you issue an executive order. Or the Congress puts a bill in front of him to sign his law. Good God. You're going to sit here and make this bullshit up after I just read the order. Unbelievable. Well, Charles, I was doing very well a moment ago. Andre Seeley, feel guilty for being white? Shouldn't feel guilty for being white. Black consciousness, white consciousness. You should be proud of who you are. You should be proud of who you are in your skin. Unless you've done something wrong to someone, then you should feel guilty and it should feel remorse. But if you've never done anything wrong to anybody, don't be, if you're Mormon, if you're Muslim, if you're Christian, if you're white, you're brown, you're black, be who you are. Be who you are in your skin. No one should be ashamed of who they are. You didn't choose your skin. You didn't choose your eye color. I'm glad I got the blue eyes, but you didn't choose that. How you treat people is what you choose. Those are the decisions you make in life. Whether you're dead, drop dead, stunningly gorgeous like me, or you're not, you have no say over that. You make your way in this world. You treat others as you want to be treated. And then you have nothing to be ashamed of. And don't accept it. Don't take the BS. Like I told Alma a few minutes ago. Oh, America? No. Are you moving to America? Why are you leaving South Africa? Don't you like it here? And watch them like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not white. What does white have to do with it? People from South Africa who are black and brown leave this country all the time. Have you been to Canary Wharf? It's full of black South Africans in the finance world making a lot of money. Have you been to Wellington, New Zealand? It's full of colored South Africans who left there to leave this country. Why would I leave this country? It's my home. Zafa, I know I'm correct about the buildings. It's the better enders. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, Marissa. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, you know, you can listen to it if you want. Bet you 2 Boermeister and a goat, those 400 buildings already have ANC caters lined up. Oh, I'm sure. There's a super chat coming in from Teresa. I absolutely love your straightforward nature. You are the type of person I would have a braai with. Well, thank you for that. Necrocrux. A lot of people don't keep up to date with the news and only get their info from people that talk to because the news is always so depressing. Well, look, I mean, I put good news out there, but y'all don't watch it. Come on, man. Let's see. We got in the past few days, we got the amazing wine journey from French kings to modern vineyards about the Rue Constantia. I republished that video. It's got 1,400 views. Are you serious? 1,400 views. You know, people keep talking about they want to hear good news. And when I lost a subscriber on this. Can you believe that? Someone watched that video and became, what's probably one of the racists who was watching the channel and they thought they were going to find something on me to go after me. Why is it not giving me the link? It is shareable link. So here you go, folks. There's a thing to check out. That's a good news story, but nobody's watching it. I don't know why. That's a really good video. I love that video. But that video, I struggled to get people to watch. I had to re-release it and it's still not being watched. Okay, then just before that, I did this one here. Where's it at here? Come on. Where are you hiding at there? Oh, here you go. This hidden South African National Park will leave you speechless for the Golden Gate Recreation Park. That's another one I did. That's a positive story. Why isn't that getting any views? That's got about 7,000. It's actually better than I expected. But I do good news stories, but nobody cares. Nobody tunes in for them. They only tune in for the evil stuff. And then people complain that all you do is do evil stuff. I know you weren't saying I did that. So Necrocrux, yeah, I mean it's frustrating. People don't watch good news stories. They want to be depressed. Darty says bingo. Yes, Arctic, he's making assumptions. Suzuki for life. Hey, Suzuki for life. I didn't even know he was here, man. Curiosity Nuggets. I agree. It's not just farm attacks. Glad news are spreading on how Malema and the ANC are carrying on. Yep. Julie Edwards. Take care. Anton, go and sleep and rest. Well, take care, Anton. BE laws against race, not your language, although one Afrikaner language, English-speaking white people is affected too. Tina Turner was talking about you in Benoni yesterday. Simply the best, better than all the rest. Sadly, Tina's gone. She was a hell of a singer. You owe nothing and we can silence you. Marxist playbook, exactly right. Oh, okay, Donkey. I thought he referred to bitter enders and was wondering. No, he's talking about the better enders. Yep. They can, any property you own, go check. That's what the law says. Yep. Media's full of liars and salary. It is. And so is YouTube. Good people on YouTube, but there's also some people that pull in your leg too, folks. All right. They want to do the sex offender exposure here too, but the Poppy Act is stopping it. Yep. Some people in South Africa get louder and make noise and disagreements to intimidate, make you back down. It's just their way. Do you notice I don't back down, Jeremy? You notice I don't back down. In all honesty, there's no future for my children, says Zafa. I got you. Another update from the U.S. Chamber last night asking for acceleration immediately. Yeah, okay. They have no place to ask for acceleration. The Real Act ID. Okay, I didn't see what your previous comment was there, Holden, so I don't know what you're talking about. Lots of passports in that desk. He used to be like Ethan Hunt. Yeah. Is it possible other countries take ANCFF to International Criminal Court? No, not under the Rome Statute. They have to be referred to by the country, and as long as the ANC is in charge, no one from the ANC is going to refer anybody from the ANC for charge. The Rome Statute is very clear. The Rome Statute, the International Criminal Court has tried to exceed its writ, but it's not allowed to, but it's trying. Hey, Zeska Bell, any news regarding the program? Nope, not active yet. We're still waiting. Yeah, they live in closed complexes, unlike the rest of you. Fun says Franz, thank you, Herman Volka. I saw a video explaining green card status is better than citizenship for tax purposes. Your thoughts? I don't understand how it's better. Did they explain how? You have to pay taxes with a green card. Doesn't matter if you're a citizen. If you earn income in this country, you have to pay the IRS. They'll come looking for you. I don't understand how it's better. Are they claiming because maybe you have tax reciprocity in your home country and you'll get taxed there instead of the U.S.? I mean, that's possible. But that only works if you're in a country that has low taxes like Malta or the Channel Islands, someplace like that, or the Caicos, Turks and Caicos, something like that. Most countries have high tax rates, so I'm not sure really what that's about. I got it too, but it does not mean anything yet. Yep. Miguel? Chris, I know it's a difficult question, but how long could a process roughly take to draw up a plan for FG program? Well, I don't know, Miguel. It's hard to say. There are a lot of permutations here. A lot of people brought in their personal stories and explained the situation. Imagine that those people are trying to write the program up are dealing with that. It's an in-country program, which makes it more challenging. Listen, if you were refugees who had fled to Kenya from Somalia, this is a much easier process for the U.S. We don't have to do much of anything other than send someone to interview people and do some background checks. Because you've already been processed by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. You're already living in a refugee place waiting for resettlement outside the country under threat. You're just waiting to be approved and gone. This is a whole different ball of wax inside South Africa. Heartbroken that Rosie O'Donnell left the U.S. because of Trump. What about you, Colonel? Oh, no, I'm actually feeling really bad for the Irish, man. Really feeling bad for them. I wish she'd gone to the Congo. Maybe that'd be a much better place for her. Hugo Basson, welcome to you. No one knows what Trump means most of the time. Exactly. Chris, thanks again for everything you do regarding South Africans' refugee status. Much appreciated. You're very welcome, Gordon von Dunsborg. I've been pissed for an hour. I noticed in your chat. No news on refugee program. That's correct. Love the passion. Ellen went to England. Did you see the Colonel having a brain aneurysm? You rock. Blood pressure. My blood pressure is fine. 118/58 resting. Everyone is focusing too much on the word Afrikaners. Yep. Everyone's focusing on, again, the executive order says nothing about farmers. It says nothing about farmers. Doesn't say anything about farmers. And people make that up. It's not about farm murders. Again, that's an assumption. That's your bias. I'm reading the order. Now, do I think it's going to be about Afrikaners? I do. Do I think they'll probably limit it to white Afrikaners? I hope that isn't the case. I hope it goes to ethnic minorities. But based on what it says, that would be a strong assumption. But we don't know. And making an assumption just makes an ass out of you and me, as they say. Yeah, exactly, Marcel Koch. Fuck, Mensa. Kijk die video's aan. Luister net biki. Wop. Hou op kak, vrije vraag. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Marcel. Watch the videos and listen a bit. Yep. How's my blood pressure? Pretty good, John. Glad to see you're still here. Stop believing mainstream media propaganda. Again, you don't have to believe me. I've told you where to go. In fact, I'll take you there right now. We're going to go on a journey together. We're off on the road to Morocco. Hope and Crosby. Here we go. Bing Crosby and Bob Hope are on the road to Morocco. Look, America's back, and they've changed the website. It's down here now. Come down here to executive actions. That was on the 7th of February. You notice there's nothing here of late about the farmers, the thing you just put on Truth Social. All right, so we're going to have to go back several pages to the 7th of February. There's 11th, 10th, 7th, addressing egregious actions of the Republic of South Africa. Okay, 150%. Okay, so purpose. In shocking disregard of its citizens' rights, the Republic of South Africa recently enacted Expropriation Act of 2024 to enable the government to seize ethnic minority Afrikaners' agricultural property without compensation. That's an incorrect statement. It allows them to seize property of everyone. But anyway, he's making a point. This act follows countless government policies designed to dismantle equal opportunity in employment, education, and business, and hateful rhetoric and government actions fueling disproportionate violence against racially disfavored landowners. Landowners include people with plots, not simply farmers. Business owners. In addition, that's the first statement, South Africa has taken aggressive positions towards the United States and its allies, including accusing Israel. So that's the second thing, aggressive positions against the United States. The third thing, against Israel, not Hamas, of genocide in the international court. And the fourth thing is reinvigorating relations with Iran. There's no mention of farm murders there. That's the purpose. And it says, we will not allow our nation to be undermined. Then it comes down here and it says the refugee resettlement and other humanitarian considerations. And this is for Afrikaners who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. There is no farmer mentioned there anywhere. So people can assume and presume all they want, but don't run around and tell people that. You're part of the problem if you're lying to people, because you're lying. You don't know. I don't know. We can presume. You can claim you think that's what it is, but you can't say that's what it is. That's a lie. El Marie Mayer, thank you. That's a lie. That's factually incorrect. You have no evidence to support that whatsoever. I've shown you the evidence. There's no interpretation there. I'm simply reading. There are 4 reasons. I keep saying 3, but there's actually 4 reasons. And only one of them has to do with Afrikaners. Yeah, people read comments on social media. Look, that group that Erica created that has all the refugee thing that she put my name, I originally asked her to take my name off of that. Boy, I'm seeing the crap going on in there, all kinds of stuff. I saw people making all kinds of assumptions, talking about this, that, and the other, and I just ignore it for the most part. Oof. It's just too much work to stop. You know, stupid is as stupid does. My brother's wife has citizen SA in UK. Well, application refugee count against them. Loretta, where does your brother live? They live in South Africa. Are they suffering racial discrimination? Then they should be fine. Mickey says America doesn't see skin color. Everyone's people. Well, Soylent Green is people too. Teresa, 140. I absolutely love your straightforward nature. You're the type of person. I already read that. Okay. You should just ignore the questions that have been answered. Nah, Herman, it's good because otherwise people have false impressions. These are opportunities for people to learn. Zero white guilt. Yeah, exactly, Charmaine. Exactly. You never did anything wrong. I have no guilt. I understand the premise of the executive order. It's based on white farm murders. Land expropriation is also a factor that came in later. It's not premised on farm murders. Economics, okay, you can believe that, but telling people that, you're being dishonest with them. If you tell them it's your opinion, then that's fine. But you're telling them as if it's a fact. It's not a fact. Why would I leave what? When am I leaving? Black South Africa telling the Zulus it's not their country. I haven't seen that. Why should white people apologize for apartheid? Most white people were born after apartheid was over. The only government they know is the ANC. I've noticed some bots commenting and trying to stir up a confrontation. Watch them. Did you know? Angelo, look, I ignore some of those comments. Some of them I choose. I'm surprised where some of the people come from and say it, but no, it's fine. It's fine. This is the time we do it. We don't do it during the news, during the day. People must just stop asking. Yep. It was a mistake electing that clown Obama. The notion came from a good place, and he did bamboozle the American voter with flowery rhetoric. I blame everyone for the crap we're in who voted for Obama. The 63 million idiots who voted for him in 2008. I knew he was an idiot. I said he was an idiot, and you all fell for it. I didn't fall for it. He's a fraud. He's always a fraud. He doesn't care about America. When he said he wanted to fundamentally change America, he did. He changed it into a shithole. That's what he did to America. He's an avowed racist who hates America, and that's obvious from his actions. Henry Louis Gates verbally assaults, almost physically assaults a state trooper who came to ask him a question because his feelings were hurt because he's a black man. Henry Louis Gates has tried to atone for his misdeeds for a long time, but he got a free pass from Obama. The beer summit, making a trooper come there and like a vassal and bringing Henry Louis Gates down there to revel in, how they're making the white man grovel before the black man. This is stupid stuff. No one should do that, white or black. Chris, unfortunately, we aren't really interested in seeing videos of South Africa. We're all looking to leave. Show us visuals of different states. No, I'm not going to give views for that happy camper. You're deluding yourself. There's videos on my channel. Are you watching them? Are you watching them? No, you're not. I haven't seen you watch any of them. Have you watched the videos? Here's one. Have you watched this? Show us the states. Nobody watches this stuff. It's nonsense. Pikes Peak, America's Mountain.
2-1.
Nice going. That's crazy.
Pikes Peak, Colorado, the summit. $18 miles to drive up here. 30 kilometers to climb it. You can't drive the last 2 miles. They've got limited parking, so you have to take a shuttle bus up the last 2 miles. Shuttle bus will scare the bejesus out of you. 18-mile drive. Straight off in the distance here, you might be able to make out the Garden of the Gods down there. Colorado Springs to the right, in the airfield. There's Peterson Air Force Base. Fort Carson back here to the right. See up above the tree line here. Demonstrably cooler here than... Show us videos of the states. Show us videos of the states. You'll get views. 115 views. 115 views. Yeah, no, that's a crock. That's a crock. 115 views. 3 years ago, I put this up. Nobody watched it. Nobody watched it. Nobody cares about this. This is shadow banning. 115 views. Hell, I got more relatives than that. 115 views. Now, people don't want to see that. They want to be miserable. People want to hear stories about they've been persecuted and how things are miserable. That's what people want. That's what people show up for. And I make all content. I don't focus on one thing or the other. I make all content. But I know from experience. I just put the video, the documentary. It's a brilliant documentary on Ruud Constantia. It's got 1,400 views. It's 56,000 subscribers and 1,400 views. Nobody wants to see good news. Stop. You guys are kidding yourselves. You're kidding yourselves. I'm sorry, not happy camper. People don't want to see that. They don't go watch it. They don't watch it. They don't watch it. Just curious off topic, do you get a ticket for jaywalking? Well, it depends on the jurisdiction. Some people press that, some people don't pay attention to it. Do you see that the unions want to take gate? Yeah, over the hiring, not blacks. Yep, because they're racist. So true, and they know if and when they leave, they'll have a hanger game coming. What's this? We should worry less about the detail and just thank God for the opportunity. Agreed, Stone. Here we go on a journey with Chris. Hey, Chris, what's USA public feeling about this? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. Nobody's paying attention to this. Although there are more Americans showing up my chat recently. Maybe there is some interest, but most people don't know and care about it. Is Charles leaving? Elmarie Mayer, thanks again, Chris, for your love of the people of this land. You're very welcome, Elmarie. Thank you for the 70 Rand super chat. Ingrid says, Colonel's the only person I found that gives us facts unbiased and legit. Yep. Faithful Farmer says, Americans are very wealthy. Most people don't know anything about this issue. Exactly. And thank you, Faithful Farmer. You're correct. I'm not making an assumption. I'm making a presumption based on everything White House has said. It's also possible this is retaliatory action against Israel. Sure. Yeah, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. And your opinion has validity, economics grad. That's your opinion. But it's your opinion. It's not a fact. Don't tell people it is a fact. I don't tell people any of this is a fact other than what's in the document. I read them exactly what it says, and I offer my opinion of it, and I make it clear what's my opinion. You shouldn't tell people as if it's fact. You made a statement. A statement is based on factual information. Soylent Green is people. Yep. You heard that, Stefan. You've seen the latest BS spew by Dan Corder about, I haven't seen the video, but I heard about it. Ronaldo talked about it in our program earlier today. Logic will prevail when the RFP program is formulated. We will not see ANC doing things. Okay. One of the days you're gone, speak Afrikaans. That will be so nice, like your channel from South Africa. Are you going to speak? Oh, Marie. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, the problem is I have to spend time, and it's never enough time. I know, it's never enough time to get immersed in it. Vera Sequeira, this has happened time and time again. The government always has a hidden agenda. The land issue, they're not giving anyone the bigger picture. Yeah, they want to take your property. They want to take your property. Section 25 of the Constitution clearly states that property is not limited to land. No, I'm not attacking anyone, Fred, except for trolls. I've attacked a few trolls who've been rude and disrespectful and racist, but I don't attack people just for asking questions. People have very thin skins. It's just amazing. That's funny, Stone, about your grandkids, what they ask. I didn't hear that in Parliament. Wow, that's interesting. Did they tell the IFP that? Obama did not make me a colonel. Or did he? Wait a second. No, Obama didn't make me a colonel. But did he sign my... Yeah, he did sign my promotion certificate, that's correct. But he didn't make me a colonel. My senior raters and my performance made me a colonel. Obama, pro forma, signed it. Just like Trump didn't make me retire. He signed my retirement papers. The law made me retire. How bad can he be? He can be terrible. All he did was get a list from the Department of Defense and sign it and send it forward to the Senate for confirmation. He didn't make me anything. I was forced to run programs that I completely disagreed with under Obama. I was forced to watch his stupidity in Niger and his stupidity elsewhere in Africa, and I was powerless to do anything about it except fulfill it because it was the law and it was a lawful order. It was morally bankrupt, but that doesn't come into play. I have an obligation to follow the lawful orders, and I follow them as much as I found it despicable, but I did it. Karen, okay. Colonel, for me, it was the water stunts he pulled at Flint, Michigan. WikiLeaks about the guy that was incredibly damning. It's like dangling a carrot in front of a donkey. While everyone focused on the carrot, no one's paying attention to what's going on behind the scenes. Yep. Stefan likes that view. Hey, Anita Corbett, how you doing there? If you look at how many Afrikaners want to go to the USA, I see that within 2 years, the Rugby World Cup. Okay, I don't know about that. Lizzie Grayling, you tell the truth about South Africa. All that, okay. In September 2009, shortly after September 11th memorial, when did Obama announce the small arms weapons transfers? To whom? To whom? That is in a full. That's in a playlist. That's in an out and about playlist. That video is in a playlist. Yep. So let me just look at it again. I'll edit it. Make sure it's there. Colorado. Search for Colorado. Okay. Edit it. Let me see which playlist. Maybe it's not in a playlist by mistake. No, it's in the out and about playlist. Yep. Go to the out and about playlist and you will find it. That's why I put it there. That's how it works, man. That's why I make playlists. Yep. I've also got the video in there for the teddy bear toss. Let's see if I can find that. There you go. 2017 teddy bear toss. This is freaking cool. Here you go. Oh, come on, YouTube. Okay, this one has 96 views. Check this out. 96 views. Oh, do things. Show us the country. I'm not picking on who said that, but this is not 96 views. Can you believe that? Okay, this is awesome. Check this out. Hershey Bears. Look at all those Bears, man. That's at the top level of the arena. I didn't get up there till about 10 minutes after they started bagging them up, so I missed a lot. All right, that's 2017. That's the teddy bear toss. Something that started in Canada over 20 years ago. And what it is for charity. So the way it works is at a hockey game, when the home team scores their first goal on the teddy bear toss night, people toss teddy bears out. They're donated to kids in hospital, cancer patients, the less fortunate who don't have stuff for Christmas. Unfortunately, the Hershey Bears have ruined hockey from a fan perspective. The Hershey Arena was a wonderful place to go. They charged for parking, but it was $5 when I came here. Now it's $30 to park there. That's insane. I could buy a ticket for $8 or $9 on the upper level, and then on the lower level, I could get them for $16 or $18. Now the lower level are $40 or more every game. The upper level are $20-some. Parking is $30. So if you take a family of four there, you're going to spend $200 minimum to get into the game, minimum. And that's not even necessarily good seats. The teddy bear toss, they do it in January. The whole point was to do this so that kids would get gifts at Christmas time or in hospital. And I do it in January. And they also canned the thing. They set the record on that day for the most teddy bear toss. I think there were 45,000 bears thrown out, and there's only 10,000 people in the arena. So 45,000 bears. Now what they do is people donate bears throughout the year. They don't even come on the ice. They add those to the total to claim that that's a teddy bear toss. It's just a crock. They ruin everything. But that was the best one ever. I went in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 to teddy bear toss, and I haven't gone since then. It's a shame. I was going to go to the home opener Hershey Bears this year. They charged $79 a ticket for the lower level. I mean, for the upper level. And it was like $119 for the lower level, plus $30 for parking. I'm not paying that to go to a minor league hockey game. I can watch it on TV. So it's a shame because they have a great team now once again. But so people, make me out, go, put good stuff up there. Look, I'm not trying to make fun of the question someone just made there. But the point is that nobody watches this stuff, man. I mean, I've killed myself coming up. Then I have my teddy bear special. Remember that? So that's not about bad things, but people just don't watch these things, man. So here, I'm going to put the link in there for anybody that wants it. Hang on. So here's the teddy bear toss, but people just don't, show us good stuff. I've done so many good things. So many things have nothing to do with the news. And I do them all the time. I've gone out to Yellow Breeches Creek. I've shown you the barns in this state. I've all kinds of stuff, but people just don't watch it. And people are always like, tell us about it. But people don't watch it, man. They just don't watch it. So here's my teddy bear special. This one here. Some people might remember this. This one has a total of 394 views. Now look at this. My teddy bear special. That was Night Owls, January, 3 years ago.
Slide over, come share my fantasy.
Frankfurt, Westdeutschland. Das gibt Ihnen einen Hinweis darauf, wie lange es. I think he's the. Exactly. Agreed. You build your own bear. Now this is building it online. So you log from Tuesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5. Look, if we've covered that, we're you. That's what's going on. Somewhere I've shown my bears. I bought some of the 90s. And I thought the Minahan was. That's the border where the mouse is at. That's. Before making additional bears more. There you go. Anyway, so talking about teddy bears, history of teddy bears. I thought I showed my teddy bears here, but I don't see it. Anyway, anyway, so there you go. People say they're going to watch this stuff, but they don't. I also think that, policies, what happened? Yeah, they did. Tonga. I set up that operation, not that specific, but the security cooperation office there. I got it going. I'm the first security cooperation chief in Niger. I also excluded many from experience, but I suppose it's business after all. Better than paying 2,000 Rand for a live event. Likes are a little low. So super chat. Okay, it's so cool. Yeah, it is. You want you want the link to the news pod. I think that's what you're talking about. Here's the link. I still have it open. That's the news pod link. And it was an hour and 25 minutes is when the guy starts talking. It's Yvonne Meyer. Yeah, they could take firearms. Yeah, they could confiscate your firearms. That's property. Yep. I haven't really mentioned it because we don't want to go down that road. Daniel McQueen, that's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay. Kenny Kinar, would it be possible to interview actual refugees about their experience in conforming to American life? I'd have to find some. And I'm not in the habit of looking for refugees. I suppose I could ask some people around. Actually, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I will ask my friend if he can put me in touch with his Ukrainian friend, who, if he's willing to go on camera. Did I miss super chats? I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Richard White became a member. Team Fenter gave 14 rands. Nathan gave 140 rands. Stone gave 70. 360 gave 70. Gordon gave 35. Teresa gave 140. Elmarie gave 70. Stian Forster gave 14. How can I get in contact with you? Well, if you're a member of one of the WhatsApp groups, the Telegram, you can send me a message that way, or you can send it to the email address that's on the channel. That's the only one I missed. That's the only one that's there. That 14 rand, that last one there. Didn't miss the others. I didn't miss a few, just that one. Coming to America, okay. My great-great-grandmother was killed in 1850 in the hands of British-led Khoikhoi soldiers, triggering the Slaughter's Neck Rebellion. Ooh, okay. Yes, I went to Postnet to send my police clearance to Pretoria. It cost me Wow, that's crazy. What a ripoff that is. That is a ripoff. That's a ripoff. That's about $60. I'm always super, but the colonel barely chats with me. Just joking. Well, Proud Neanderthal, you got to say stuff, man. You're welcome, Kenny. All right, guys, it is 2:20 in the morning here, and we've been at this for 2 hours and 48 minutes. 4,000 people tuned in, SARS. Please hit the like button if you haven't done it already. If you don't mind, hit that button. It's easy to do.
That was easy.
Say piece of cake. Thanks for the video on the budget. Yeah. No, that's the social relief distress, 35 billion. Yep. You could have sent those paper for R90. Yeah, maybe. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Have a good night. Appreciate you being here. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you. Busy day. I got to get some sleep. I've got the news. I got prep for the news. When I get up, then any breaking news. Then I've got the interview with the Breibrookie young lady, Zion Simon. Then I've got the General Holomisa on. So busy day. No rest for the wicked. Hey, Garrett's still here. Okay, cool. See you guys later. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Take care of yourself. Thanks for being with us. Be safe out there. Don't take any wood nickels, and stop listening to the fake stream media. Start reading the stuff for yourself. Again, don't believe me. Go read it. Read the executive order. It's at the White House, 7 February. Go to Trump's Truth Social account. Read his tweets if you want to do that. Go to the State Department's website, zaUSembassy.gov or something like that, and check it out. Anyway, it's all there. Piece of cake. See you later.